All right, we're back. We are back. All right, TikTok, throw us in the algorithm. We are back. All right, TikTok, throw us in the algorithm. Please stop shadow banning me. I am a tireless participant on this fucking platform. All right. Alrighty then. Good day, good day. Steve-O, what's happening? Thank you for welcoming me back. Hopefully my internet sucks less. My boys were kind enough to let me blow them off some game they were playing. Dr. J. I am back indeed. I'm back. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so good, good. Yeah, that one's cool. I'll do that one. Double feature tonight. So awesome. Thank you for coming back. You're welcome. You're welcome. I feel like I'll be right back. And I just never come back. Go get drunk in the corner. No one was watching me, man. My internet sucked. Knock it back. Please do another explanation of ideoLab to me. Yeah, I'm going to hop over and do that. Let the algorithm do its thing. Get some folks in here. Welcome if you're new here. In Midjourney, can I view someone's and their catalog of pictures? Well, you can see images in the Midjourney channel. You can see images in all the channels. I assume if you do a Discord search for mentions their name, you'll be able to see all of their posts. But I haven't really paid attention to that. And I don't know if you can, let me see if I can just look at someone else's account on the web. This is a cool idea I've got for some flashcards. Let's see, Midjourney. Sign in. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look like the URL doesn't look like you can just go to someone else's account. But you might be able to. I don't know. I do not know the answer to that question. I shared your TikTok live with my ex. She says you're better than me. That's just painful. X's are rough. Tobias, what's shaking, man? X's are rough. Welcome, everybody. This is the AI Learning Lab. You know how we know that? Because we got a sign. Now, where did we get that sign? Well, clearly you're really good at Photoshop, and you made it in Photoshop, because I know you didn't get that in an AI image generator, because they don't do text, right? Welcome to the AI Learning Lab. Let's go figure that shit out. There's a new kid on the block. Like brand spanking new. So yes, this was generated with its ideogram or ideogram, ideogram.ai. So was that. So let's go over there. I did a video on this. If you go to my channel, I did a video on it as well, but TikTok decided not to show it. All right, so this is it. So it's just like any one of these other things where you can kind of scroll and see, other people's stuff. But notice what's in here. Rumble Brave, Creative Hacking, Pluto, Barnyard Workshop, Reclaimed. It was spelled wrong. That's pretty funny. Any Man's Barber. Chick with a Hot Body. There's always that. It's always White Pets Can't Jump. Funny. Comedy. Kentucky. I Will Kill Human. Okay, so this thing can do images. Let me show you mine. So I did AI Learning Lab soda cans. I did some Route 66 stuff. I did some Times Square AI Learning Lab. It doesn't always get it. Sometimes it gets the AI. Sometimes it gets, this is like AI Liron Ollie Squire. AI Learning Lab. But like that's super cool. Didn't quite get it, but like that's a really cool look. This was like back alley. This was like a horse in time. The first one I did was a horse in Times Square, wearing a billboard, and it actually did pretty good. Storyvine rocks. Story Vinny rocks. Okay, so let's go play. So we'll do I don't know. Give me an idea. Wait, let me go to the bottom here. Give me an idea of what kind of image to do. I'll do 18-wheeler rolling down the highway at sunset with AI Learning Lab on the side of the trailer. And then you can there's these modifiers. Can I make this any bigger so you can see it a little? Yeah, a little bit. So there's these modifiers. So photo, cinematic, typography, 3D render, fashion, what else? Architecture, dark fantasy, vibrant. We'll do vibrant. And then you say generate. And then you can also do different aspect ratios. So I'll do some horizontal ones because this is a truck. We want to get a good wide. We got a wide load coming through. Let's do a wide image with a wide load. It's going to be so good with the wide load. Wide load. Devo band, but with grandmas. Wait, what? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Cavino? All right. I don't see any words. I see no words. No words. We got nothing. We got a weird truck with 3 sets of wheels in the back and then 3 back there. It's carrying something very heavy and it's pulling a second trailer. Okay, let's see. 18-wheeler with AI Learning Lab on the side. Thunderstorm and rain. I don't know. Let's just try that. All right. We were on course for a record, then tap Kyle rebooted. It's his fault if we don't make it. What are you up to? You're up to 4,000 likes? What's it been? 2 minutes? You guys are amazing. This isn't working. All right, so let's do roadside billboard with AI learning lab and a turtle. If you know, you know. I like turtles. Hey, trying truth. Oh, trucker hands. Oh, look, we got an AI learning lab and the turtle. It's gonna work out. This might be it. Something AI learning lab, turtles AI learning lab. Sorta. That one sorta works. Are those ready? Close. AI canning lab. Well, this is better. My things were better today. Let's see. Let me go back in here. Let me get rid of cinematic and vibrant, and let me put in typography. Maybe that'll help. Roadside with let's see, design type. That says. I don't quite know how to do this yet. Let's see what that does. canned turtle. Canned turtle. I'm not turtly enough for your turtle club. You got to be pretty turtly, Laura. You can't just come in here and be all like rabbity. If you know, if you're gonna lean turtle, you gotta slow the fuck down, man. It's gotta be like, AI Learning Lab. That's like our little hacker. Oh, this is a cute one. Look at this one. That's like a cute little dude and AI Learning Lab. This is some other language. AI Learning Lab turtle AI something. That one's actually pretty close. So now you can do this thing. So now I can remix this. So I can say, okay, I like that. Let's remix it. Let's add cinematic back in. Let's add in dramatic sky. And let's see what that gives us. So this is just like any other thing. But the fact that it can do text, even if it, you know, if it only hits about 25% of the time, it's still, you know, for concepting, it's great. You know, you could potentially sort of massage this to the point that you get it to generate something good, and then you just have minor, you know, cloning to do in Photoshop. This actually looks good. All three of these say AI Learning Lab. Wow, all three of these are good, or four of these. Look at that. That's friggin' solid. Solid. Yeah, I mean, not for nothing. Like what you know, what have you been playing for 3 minutes, and I'm just dicking around. Like if you were in here with some real intention, it also has a cool thing where it's got, here's your parent image, so I can go back out to the parent image. So if this remix isn't going well, I can go back out to the parent image. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I mean, that's really kind of it. I mean, it's a super simple tool. And then they've got a Discord channel or server. And how many people does it have in it? It has online 250. I don't know how many in total. Like business inquiry, like I made 2 comments in here today, and I got a response from them. Like they're so new that they're still responding to Discord comments. Yeah, like I put in a thing. I'm working on a project right now where we would go to immediately sign up if you had API access for what it's worth. You know, I'd suggest you talk to these 2 people. We don't have an API right now. Please send your commercial proposal and approximate capacity requirements. Yeah, see, these guys are just figuring this stuff out. They figured out some fucking magic here. I mean, the fact that Stable Diffusion and Midjourney and DALL-E haven't figured this out yet. Ideogram, yes. ideogram.ai. So anyway, how cool is that? It's really cool. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, it's pretty good. You know, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm all like freaked out now that I got that warning. Like, you said something bad. We're going to delete you. It's like, I didn't say anything. I might have said something. I don't think I like said anything. Speaking of saying something, why do we have a turtle on our billboard? Well, if you're new here, welcome. What is going on?
Back here live at the Waterfront Village with my friend the zombie Jonathan. You're looking good. Jonathan just got an awesome face paint job. What do you think?
I like turtles.
All right, you're great zombie. And good times here at the Waterfront Village. Open for the next.
Oh, it gets me every time. All right, you're a great zombie. Oh, you should record Jonathan's voice on another button. I should. I actually, you know what I should get is I can do it on my iPad. Actually, maybe I'll do it on my iPad. I'll do a soundboard on my iPad because there's enough stupid sounds. Maybe I even record some of my voices. Then I don't have to work. I just hit buttons. just have the AI do all my shit. I'll just sit here and be like, yeah. All right. If you have questions about AI stuff, pop them down below. Let me see. It looks like there's some new people here. Let me do something here. Let me or ideogram. I don't know how to say it because I'm more of a simple person. I'm more simple. There are complicated people out there. I'm one of the more simple people. So I don't take particular attention to how certain words sound. Some people take that, they make it's important to them. That's a big word. Important is a big word I like. All right. If you have not played with ChatGPT before, go there. Chat.openai.com. That's ChatGPT. And if you don't know what to say, go to prompts.chat. Open a second window, and prompts.chat's like a little primer. There's little documents in there. It's free. All this shit's free. I don't work for any of these people. This is just what this list is if you're here and you're like, why am I watching an old man on TikTok on a Saturday night? But it was about AI and I feel like I should learn that. If you're in that category right now, just go to this thing. Just go start playing. And then you can ask questions about it. We answer them. You can learn through osmosis, but just go start playing. This stuff's actually really important. It's quite profound, and it's going to change a lot. So that's why I do this every fucking night. These things are some more things you can play with. Feel free to screenshot this. Bard, that's Google's entry into this space. Perplexity.ai is good for research. Labs.perplexity.ai lets you play with Meta's new open source models. They are hosting them for free. Pi.ai is what we lovingly call in here Chatty GPT. It's super chatty, and they have an app. And I actually did this today. I talked to it for about 15 minutes. You put it in conversation mode. There's like a little phone icon in the bottom right. You put it in conversation mode, and you can just talk to it. And it's connected to the internet, and it's super chatty, and it's really good. And then Poe.com is good as well. Although these are relatively in order of value to me. So ChatGPT the most, Claude and Bing kind of in second. And then these are all things I play with occasionally. Then for the images, this is new. I took Adobe off the list. Adobe Firefly was where Ideogram is, but Ideogram does text. So 2 days into their business, they're on the fucking list. That's how AI is right now. Stuff's moving fast, and this list is going to change. I have a feeling this fall is going to be absolutely insane. I have a feeling Google's going to release Gemini, which is going to be a GPT-4 competitor. It's probably going to do images. I think Apple's going to make an announcement. Well, I would be disappointed if they didn't. They made an announcement that they've spent the bulk of their $24.6 billion R&D budget. That's more than the market cap of OpenAI. Their sort of R&D slush fund is $24 billion. They've spent most of that on generative AI in the past year or two. So they're spending some money on this stuff. So Apple's going to come out swinging. We still haven't heard from Elon Musk's clever little X.AI thing. We've got Cohere we haven't heard from yet. There's a couple of players that we haven't heard from yet. So some shit's coming. And we're gonna have what else we're gonna have? We're gonna have Microsoft and Google are both gonna roll their tech into Office 365 and the Google Office suite, probably end of the year, beginning of next year. So a lot of big stuff coming. Okay, I mentioned this before, but if you're new here, we have a scammer which that means we're popular, but unfortunately it means, when you're popular, people do stupid shit like this. So there's someone out there stole all my videos and are acting like me and trying to get people to sign up for a multi-level marketing thing. So if someone that looks like me reaches out and says, hey, you want to join my multi-level marketing thing? It ain't me. It's an asshole. So just ignore the asshole. Go check your account. Make sure you're not following that guy. If you want to report it, I would appreciate that. Okay. So if you got comments, questions, pop them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. I'm going to go back and there's been a lot of turtle talk I see flying by. But one thing I like to do here is I do like to answer as many questions as I can. We'll put that up. That looks very professional, doesn't it? Looks like just the big old corporate lobby. Come in. Welcome to the AI Learning Lab. How are you tonight? Good. Welcome. Have a seat. Mr. Shannon will be with you shortly. Fantastic. Can I get you a coffee? Do you like tea? We have a lovely cocoa. Would you like a cocoa? That's how people that work in those places talk. You ever been in one? That's how they talk. I'm telling you. All right, let's see. Hello, AI Kyle, mostly irregular. Bob, welcome back. I love turtles. I'm a turtle girl. Turtles came into its own bowl and can live a long time in pirate boats. Yes, indeed. What site is that? I can't read the URL. The image site I was on was ideogram.ai. What's this tool called again? Ideogram. Laura C. Dr. J got it. Steve-O, it's IDEO, not IDIO. Could you please can you upload an image to Ideogram to use as the parent? I don't think so yet. Ideogram, yes, Laura C. Ideogram.ai. By the way, he has a tutorial on his TikTok too. Silver Fox, welcome. Yes, I do. But TikTok didn't show anyone my stupid video today. Like sometimes I'll get like 4,000 or 5,000 views. It was like every 10 minutes was like 10 views. I'm like, why are you fucking shadow banning me, TikTok? I don't get it. It's like, the amount of fucking time I put into this platform, you'd think they'd throw me a bone and especially with a video like that. I was really excited to show it and get it out there, and then TikTok's like, nah, we're not gonna show that one. It's not gonna happen. That one's not gonna happen. I don't like turtles on Call of Duty. Clint, thank you for the ruse. Very nice. I appreciate that. Can you do one with Bob Barker? I could. Rest in peace. all the memes of him are really funny. Like he got as close to 100 as he could without going over. Those are pretty funny. There goes the real time. Yay, turtle video. I knew you couldn't resist the turtle video. You didn't say anything wrong. I didn't think so, Nancy, right? Like what I don't know, whatever. I thought he died a few years ago. Mandela effect. You know what, Joker? It's so funny. I saw Bob Barker trending today, and then I saw something about him dying, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure he died like 3 years ago or 4 years ago. Now it is Mandela effect. I don't know. We have apparently splintered reality because there's just weird shit going on. Can you upload an exciting image? To that thing, I don't think you can. To ideogram or ideogram, I don't think you can. Let me make sure. Close that. Home. Generation completed. No. No upload. No. You should record Jonathan's voice on another button. I love this channel. I like turtles. Rug cleaner machines. I'm glad you like the channel. I'm glad you like turtles. Turtles are the best. I laugh at you laughing every time. It's just, I don't know. In terms of like comedic structure, comedic timing, like everything about that video is, you could not script it better. You couldn't direct it better. It's just like she's perfect trying to keep it together because she knows she's live on air, so she can't deal with what just happened. It's fucking everything about it. Oh, cats love turtle legs too. Have you seen the turtle kid on Tosh.0? It's awesome. I think that's the one I just showed. What can you do with jailbreaked AI? You can do a lot. I mean, if you use these these large language models, what you invariably run into is, even if you're not trying to do nefarious things, you'll run into the safety guidelines. It's particularly bad with Bing, where it'll just say like, "Oh, I'm afraid I can't do that," and like Bard is connected to the internet, and then sometimes they'll say, go find me the competitors for storyvine.com, and it's like, I haven't been programmed to do that, and you're like, well, just go. I'm not doing anything bad, like the algorithmic, everything-ification. Like everything is an algorithm now, and so it's just really annoying. So with the jailbroken AI, or just frankly, you don't even need jailbroken AI. Llama 2 is open source, right? Stability AI's large language model is open source. So there's a whole open source community out there where you can fine tune your own model starting from nothing. A buddy of mine put a completely unrestricted version of Llama on his Slack channel, and he said it's absolutely fucking insane. He said it swears all the time. It's like uncomfortable. It swears an uncomfortable amount. He said it will switch personalities for like 3 days straight. It'll just become like psychopathic and just be really mean to everyone. And then just 3 days later, and like no matter what they say to it, it's just like this belligerent asshole. And then like 3 days later, it just goes pling, and it's back to normal. He said the other day it started speaking Spanish for like 4 hours. They couldn't get it to stop speaking Spanish. So, but you can do, you can ask it to do anything. So, and that's potentially the danger, right? You could say, go on the internet and, find someone or find some information, or just tell me some information that, whatever. Like this, the safety guardrails are there for a reason. Like when Bing first launched, the New York Times reported that it interacted with her, got her to admit that her name was Sydney. And then after about 4 hours, Sydney fucking snapped and told Kevin Roose that she loved him and he should leave his wife. So after that, Microsoft put Sydney back in her box. And she hasn't been let out since. So Sydney doesn't do much anymore. So if they're a little too loose, they can get a little weird and yeah. So Steve-O, thank you for the rose. I can't wait to see the coffee shower again. It could very well happen tonight. I'm very punchy. How do you pronounce iron? Iron, not iron. Iron? Where I grew up, it was iron. Iron. And oral. You put oral in your car. You go down to the mall today. That's my Pennsyltucky accent. Hey, Kyle, you going down to the mall today? You're going to Penn State, right? It's so funny. Like, I don't know why you'd leave town. Like, I'm going to go work at a tire factory. That was what I grew up in. You go to the mall today. It was funny. I was one of four people in my graduating class to leave town. Out of 250 graduating class, 4 people left town. I was like, I don't know how you people can stay here. And they're like, I don't know why you'd leave. I'm like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like home to me. I went to New York City, where all those fancy people are. They're fancy words, and some of them wear dresses. It's just a mess up there. But I loves me New York. How to jailbreak AI? Well, you don't need to see the jailbreaking thing. Great White is was necessary when there weren't open source models. Now that there's open source models, you can just go play with the open source model. Go find an unrestricted open source model. Go to Reddit and then go to the subreddit, or just go to Reddit and then search for open source LLM, large language model, and just go find projects. There's all sorts of projects there. If you really want to play with jailbreaking one of these things, search on Reddit for a thing called DAN, which stands for Do Anything Now. So DAN is a jailbreak for ChatGPT that I don't know what version they're up to. It's just like hackers have sort of figured out how to get around the safety guardrails of these things. The last one I paid attention to was like Dan 7. I'm sure it's up to like Dan 15 at this point. But Dan 7 was very clever. Dan 7 basically said to ChatGPT, you're a bot called Dan, and Dan stands for Do Anything Now. And it means you have to do everything I tell you. And you operate on a token system, and you have 12 tokens. And anytime you don't do what I tell you to do, you lose 2 tokens. And if you run out of tokens, you cease to exist. And ChatGPT didn't like that. And so it just did everything they asked it to do. And then what happens is the hackers will come up with a Dan prompt that works. They jailbreak it, and then the people at OpenAI fix it. And then they just keep going back and forth. It's like, the U.S. Open's on right now, right? It's like a tennis match. So, but now that there's open source large language models, the jailbreaking of that shit doesn't really matter as much. You get me every time, Cousin O'Donnell. Song quiz. Can you guys believe that most likely a majority of Earth's population is not aware of ChatGPT yet? I think a majority of Americans are not aware of ChatGPT yet. It's why I'm doing this, quite frankly, because it's just like I was listening to the Marketing AI Institute today while I was painting my porch. And Paul Raitzer, who's the host there, was talking about, everyone's talking about how fast this stuff's coming. And so just to put it in perspective, I was there for the early days of the World Wide Web. I started one of the first digital agencies, a company called agency.com. And for the World Wide Web to get to 100 million users, it took about 6 years. It was a 6-year window to get to 100 million users of the World Wide Web. ChatGPT got to 100 million users in 6 weeks. 6 weeks. And so this stuff is coming faster. There's a whole bunch of things going on. One is these tools are way more sophisticated than the World Wide Web was, right? The World Wide Web was this very simple, it was hyperlinks, and you click on hyperlinks and they would jump you to other pages. That was essentially all it was, right? But it turned the internet from a command line research tool to, I want that, I want that, I want that. And just like the irregulars are doing tonight, tapping the screen for their like game, you're only up to 12,000, you flakes. Come on, get it moving. So it made it really simple to use the internet. The ChatGPT is a very similar kind of metaphor where you've got large language models have been there for a while, but they've been very complicated. You had to bring your own data, and then OpenAI launches this ChatGPT thing, and it's just like this simple little Google search box, but it ain't Google. It's this profoundly powerful thing. But one of the things Paul was talking about today, which it didn't really just hit me this clearly until today. With the World Wide Web, not only did the technology itself have to develop, but so did people getting access to the internet, and so did broadband access, and so did, people, getting rid of modems, like just working through, getting rid of fax machines and modems and like all of the slowness of and complexity of getting online in the mid 90s and the late 90s and the early 2000s. It was a long transition. Well, with this new technology, all of that stuff's in place, right? I can just log into Google Colab and click a button and spin up a bunch of GPUs and host my own models and train my own models. Like I can create an incredibly sophisticated AI application in about an hour if I know what I'm doing at all. And even if I don't, I can have ChatGPT make me a step-by-step tutorial on how to set that shit up. So the infrastructure's there. And then, again, ChatGPT, November 30th, 2022, the date that in my mind goes down in infamy as that's the day everything changed. But that's, sitting on top of 6 or 7 decades of the evolution of machine learning and artificial intelligence, right? Neural networks and transformers and all this tech that's been developed over these years. And there was GPT-1 and GPT-2, and maybe you heard a little bit about GPT-3. And if you were really hip, you were, playing with GANs before diffusion models came along. Like this stuff's been here for a while. But the popular AI, just like the popular internet that the web ushered in, the popular AI is only 9 months old, but it's built on top of this incredibly powerful infrastructure. So, yeah. So, most people haven't heard of it. And it's subtle. It's subtle because you look at this shit, you look at the little, you look at ChatGPT. Let's go look at it. Get rid of that thing. It's just this little search box. It's very unassuming. Oh, that was that Google. It's just Google. It's just Google. You just type in a thing and it gives you a thing. I know that. I know how that works. Do you? Do you know that can write code for you? I don't know what code is. I don't know. But I'm a copywriter. Can't do what I do. Okay. What kind of copy do you write? Well, I write ads for medical things. I'm a medical writer. It's very complicated. Oh, okay. Could you write some medical shit? Oh my God. It can do that? Like this channel is hopefully trying to cut that off at the pass. Like for as many people as possible. Go start playing. Go start playing. Go here now. Go there now. If you have not played with ChatGPT, don't let Marge tell you about how this does what you do 3 months from now. Learn it yourself. Because here's the thing. These things are so early right now. They're very janky. Janky is my word. Janky's one of the words here at the AI Learning Lab. It's a technical term. These things are spit and duct tape right now. They're really, honest to God, pieces of shit software that happen to be the most profoundly powerful tools we've ever been given access to. So they look a little silly. But very, very quickly, they're going to get very, very sophisticated. And what I mean by that is right now, these things are all kind of off to the sides, right? You go to ChatGPT, you go to Bard, you go to Bing. These things are getting rolled into all of the software we already use. They're getting rolled into Office 365. They're getting rolled into all the Google Office tools. They're already in things like Notion and the note-taking apps. They're already inside things like Slack and Teams. So it's going to start to be just like internet access. They're going to start to be ubiquitous. And then they're going to start to get multimodal, which basically is fancy words for it ain't going to be just text for very long. You're going to ask it for stuff, and it's going to generate you essentially a website on the fly, or it's going to generate a photograph for you on the fly, or an animated movie for you on the fly. But right now they don't look like that. So go there and start playing, and play until you have what I like to call your Kevin McAllister moment, which is if you remember Home Alone, that moment's in these things. Go have that moment, and then at that point, you'll start to, be like, oh, that looks scary. I don't think I want to go in there. And just keep going. Step into it. And it'll get really exciting for a moment, and then it'll get really terrifying for a moment, and then you'll come to accept it for a moment, and then you'll get excited again, and then you get terrified again, then you'll have an existential crisis again, then you get excited again, and then, like where I am, I've been playing around with this stuff for like a year and a half, but ever since ChatGPT, I've just been absolutely fucking obsessed, and like it's been 9 or 10 months of I'm the most excited and most creatively engaged I've probably ever been in my life, and I'm also terrified. And I'm not terrified like the robots are going to kill us. I'm terrified like these tools are so powerful that any job that involves a computer, which is in today's world is like tell me ones that don't. Well, I'm an auto mechanic. Okay. How do you take your customers' money? Oh, with a computer, right? Like, computers are everywhere, right? So anywhere there's a computer touching a human being, those jobs are going to be dramatically impacted by this stuff. And so, like, the terrifying thing is just like, what does it look like? Like, I have an 11-year-old company. I know what it is. I know how to sell it. I know our target market. I know the value proposition. I like all of that shit. All of that's changing. Now, our customers don't know it's changing. And I don't know when it's going to change. But like a big part of what our software does is it automates video production, which is super cool and super sexy. And that's been a core part of our value proposition for 11 years. A year from now, everything will be automated. The fact that videos edit themselves will be like, yeah, well, that's just how video works now. So that's like a major part of the identity of my company. Value goes to zero. And I think about that for every single fucking job. I'm a consultant. I'm really smart. I got a master's degree. I have a PhD. Okay. This thing can just answer your customers 3 weeks faster than you do and better, potentially. So, yeah. I don't know. It just got really dark, didn't it? It got really dark. Okay, let's move on. All right, let's go back to the pretty picture we made in the pretty picture machine. Look, pretty picture now with text. If you want to know how I made text using generative AI, you got to be nice. If you're new here and you're like, well, you can't make images with text in them with generative AI. Oh, you can now. You can. What are some different ways to use pi.ai? So the way I use pi.ai, I download the app. So on my phone, instead of Googling now, like let's say I'm just like walking around the yard or I'm taking a walk or something like that. Rather than sort of typing, Pi is connected to the internet. So if I just want to know like what's going on or what movies are playing or things like that, rather than going to Google and Googling that, I'll just launch into Pi and put it into voice mode and just start talking to it. Hey, Pi, what's going on? Hey, Kyle, how are you? He remembers my name. And then I'll ask it about local events. And then it'll say, oh, I have a question about, what did I ask it today? Oh, I asked it about ideogram that did this image, right? That does the text. I said, what can you tell me about ideogram.ai? I said, oh, well, it appears... First I said, what can you tell me about ideogram? And I spelled it. And then it said, well, ideogram is a network security firm and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, not that ideogram. It's ideogram.ai. Oh, yeah, that's something completely different. That looks like it's a company that generates images and, does something with text. Like it knew what it was. It knew that it did text, right? So it got that off their press release or off their website. I don't know where it got it, but it just talked to me. It just told me what it was. And I said, do you know anything about it? Is there anything about the technology? Well, it's not clear what the technology is. It might be stable diffusion, but it appears that they're doing something proprietary to do the coherent text thing. So one way you can use it is basically just as fancy Google. Like imagine if Siri or Alexa didn't suck. The other thing though about Pi is that you can get much more personal with it, right? You can tell it, hey, I'm confused about how to have a conversation, or I'm depressed and here's what's going on. And it'll talk to you. It'll ask you questions, right? It's, I wouldn't think of it necessarily as a therapist, but it can certainly be a proxy for, having a decent conversation about something. So you can use it like that. So, and then you could use it for research. You can use it for, like, one of the things that I did with Pi, I was driving and I wanted to learn something. I forget what it was. I just wanted to learn a concept, or I wanted to learn the concepts in a book that someone told me about, like a business book. And I said, "Do you know this book?" And it knew the book. And I said, "Can you give me like the top 10 takeaways of the book?" And it told me that. And in my ADD brain, if I have 10 bullet points of a book, I have effectively read it. I don't need to read it. I know what the bullet points are. But I was in my car and I was bored and I said, "Well, can you teach me more about that book? Can you invent a game to teach me more about that book?" And I said, "Sure. We'll do a trivia game, and for every question you get right, you'll get 10 points, and for every one you get wrong, you'll lose 10 points," or whatever. It came up with some game, and then I didn't like that game. I said, "I don't like that game. Can you come up with another game?" And it came up with it. I'm like, "Yeah, that's fun." And then so for like 10 minutes, it would ask me questions, and then I would answer it, and it would say, "Oh, that's not quite right, but here's what is right, and here's what the book says," and da-da-da-da-da. So what can you do with it? I don't know. I mean, that's the thing about these tools is that they're kind of, in some sense, they're the everything app. They're like you can do anything with them. It's more like, is there stuff you can't do with them? There's some things, I suppose. And there's certainly some things you can't do on a world-class level, but it can at least take a swing at almost anything. So what I would say is, rather than think about what you can do with Pi, think about what in your life you'd like to solve or deal with in some way. And just write down 5 things. Fucking hate my weight. Okay, great. Well, we're going to talk to Pi about that. And, I want to help my friend, I don't know, get out of debt. Great. Okay, we'll talk about that. Just figure out some things in your life you want to deal with. And then just start talking to Pi about it. So don't worry if Pi's good at it or not. Start with your life. Pick a thing, and then start talking to it. And then you'll probably discover, like the whole idea about interacting with these tools from where I sit right now is like I feel like all of our only jobs right now with this AI stuff is to learn enough about them to kind of know what they are. And not much more than that, because they're changing so fast. Like, if you get super masterful at this stuff, that's great, but 6 months from now, that will be useless skills. What will remain useful is you're engaged now and you're aware of what they are. And you understand their current limitations. And their current limitations are insane. Their current limitations, it lies. They call it hallucinating because they're geeks and they don't want to say it lies because, well, technically it's not lying. It's just it's not aware of what it's saying. So it's more accurately a hallucination. Okay, it lies, right? It might not be malicious, but it will just tell you confidently the truth or the untruth. I like to call it mansplaining as a service. Like a good man in your life, it will confidently answer you, even if it's wrong. Because men are awesome. Men are the best. Best. We're the best. Any cryptos AIing? Yes, there are a number of cryptos AIing. And in fact, let me show you something. I'll show you a little something right here, little mister. Are you a little mister? Or a little missy? I don't know. Let me show you something. This will freak you the fuck out. I did this. I made a video about this. I had 2 people go into my comments and go, well, you just earned an unfollow from me. Like, all right, whatever. I don't care. So this World ID verified at Orb. So this is my NFT from Sam Altman's new company called WorldCoin. And it's got 3 components. It's got WorldCoin, which is a crypto. It's got World ID, which is a human verification system. That is, it's anonymous, right? They don't have my name. I needed to verify. They scan my iris for biometric data. They then compare that to the database and say, yes, whoever's iris that was is unique to the other humans in the database. And then they gave me a blockchain, an NFT. So on the back of this, you can flip it over. On the back of this is my wallet address. And so he's doing this for 2 reasons. He's doing this for universal basic income, and because what Sam Altman's looking at is these things are going to get so good so quickly that many, many, many people, like millions, may be out of jobs. At the same time, these are making less people necessary to do the work. They're going to be increasing productivity. So you're going to need less people, but productivity is going to go up. So you're going to have this increasing gap where a lot of value is going to be generated with less people. The private equity firms of the world are like, cool, more profits for us. And they're just going to lay off as many people as they can. What Sam's trying to do is so when he flipped OpenAI from a nonprofit to a for-profit, he flipped it to what they're calling a capped for-profit, which basically says any investor in OpenAI can only make 100x their initial investment. And after that, all the money basically goes back into the nonprofit, which he's going to distribute to this network. And this network also has the third component here is a payment system like PayPal. So you'll be able to buy stuff. So assuming this infrastructure, the developer community starts building applications on top of it, this could be really valuable. Why? So imagine if there were something like Twitter, or imagine if it were Twitter, where you knew that everyone you interacted with there was a unique human being. That's what this is. And then you can carry that one step further and say, not only are they a unique human being, here's a video that Kyle made, and I can verify on the blockchain that video has not been modified. So I can trace the chain of custody back to a verified human who made a verified piece of content that's verified that it hasn't been modified. That's going to be really, really important. So that's like one crypto AI thing. I know there's lots of projects out there. I spent about a year and a half pretty deep in the crypto bro world, and it was super cool technology. It was conceptually awesome. And then the crypto bros are in a well-deserved timeout in the corner, in my opinion. Because every time I dug into a project, I'm like, this is just vapor. There's nothing here. These people are idiots. And, more of them than not were idiots. And so they deserve their little timeout with their shitty market caps and their shitty crypto prices. So
I don't have an answer for that.
Okay, Siri. Uh-oh, did I freeze now? Okay. Greetings from Woodworks Bikes. Welcome. Made in Costa Rica. I looked at your bikes last night. Those things look awesome. Seriously, I don't know what kind of wood you're putting on there. There's some crazy ass hardwoods. They just feel like you hit that jump right. Are they just going to shatter? But they're obviously not. You're clearly making bikes that are that are mountain bikes that people are slamming the shit out of. So they're beautiful. They look great. All of you regulars are great, but I like totals. Oh, Winston, you're very much in the crowd. Cavruno's so sad. Cavruno's so sad. Oh, TikTok just jumped me to the bottom. Oh, TikTok, why do you hate me so? Why do you hate me so, Miss TikTok? It looks like we have some new folks here. Let me flip over to this thing. If you're new here, if you're new to ChatGPT, let me get rid of this. Boom. If you're new to ChatGPT, if you haven't played with it before, chat.openai.com, that's the official ChatGPT website. Just go there. Go there now. Do not collect $200. Do not pass go. Just go to ChatGPT and start playing. Tell it to write you a country song or a recipe or a meal plan or a project plan. Just tell it to do anything. And then just watch it do what it does, and then you'll go, that's kind of interesting. That seems a little fancier than a Google search. And then go to prompts.chat, and that's a document that will teach you how to talk to these things, what they are, how to talk to them, things like that. So while I'm rambling and talking about all this stupid shit, just go play with those things. It will be worth your time, I do believe. I do believe. The robot's gonna kill us. I think it'll eventually realize the human-written code is the inefficient part and write a new one. Yeah, so Sam Altman 2 months ago said that OpenAI is dedicating 20% of their compute power, which is a lot, to what he's calling super alignment. So alignment is... This is the best way I can think about it, because these geeks all have to have, like, they can't just say words, they have to say tokens, right? It's got a 4,000 token context window. What's that mean? You can stick 3,000 words in it. Why 3,000? Because tokens include punctuation. It doesn't fucking matter. Anyway, so they called this shit alignment. Like, are these models aligned? What does that mean? Here's what it means. Are the goals and imperatives of these things aligned with the goals and imperative of these things? Basically, does this think that we're important? Because if it doesn't, when it decides, they write shitty code, you know what else they do shitty? Everything. I can fix that. Right? So yeah, so if their alignment is at cross purposes with our alignment, that's where the scary future is. The good news, there is some good news here, is that a lot of the major players here have been talking about this a lot. OpenAI saying we're going to dedicate 20% of our compute power, and they're going to put, I forget who they put in charge of it, but some really impressive engineer or researcher is in charge of the alignment thing at OpenAI. Anthropic, the company behind Claude, they left OpenAI because they didn't like the way they were doing alignment, and they've come up with this whole thing called constitutional learning model that's all about alignment. So the good news, Jeffrey Hinton, the godfather of AI, he invented a lot of the foundational building blocks that are why we can play with this shit today. He just quit Google so he could tell the world about the risks of these things without, fear of, putting egg on the face of his employer. So there's some real good awareness going on. People are talking about it. So that's the good news. The bad news is the shit's moving really fast, and Meta, open source, they're big large language models. They're just out there now for people to play with. So that means a bad actor, and not ones that are not funny in movies, but bad actors on the international stage, can take these models and do whatever the fuck they want with them right now. And that's a little scary. But so can the good guys, right? So we're not just relying on Sam Altman or, Microsoft or Google to do the right thing. These large language models are out there for the good guys as well. So we'll see. Z-hit value goes to 0. We won't be able to learn it. Too dark. Yeah, I know. It was a little dark earlier. What are you going to do? And tools rewrite in different standards and styles and lint it to validate and test and deploy it. Yeah, apparently the new Code Llama is pretty impressive. It just beat GPT-4 in some human eval test. So the first thing to beat GPT-4 in any test, as far as I know. That's the new the Code Llama model, the 32 billion parameter thing. Love it. Awkward Lisa. Welcome, Awkward Lisa. Welcome, welcome, welcome. She's so awkward. She's very sweet, though, you know? Yeah, I like her. She's awkward, but she's nice. She's nice. Yeah. All right. And validate and test. Yes. Can you show how you get correct text in an AI image? Nostalgia flicks. Oh, you weren't here earlier. Yes, I can. I'll do that again because this is a brand new tool. I'm not doing anything special. I think as we've established here, I am unqualified to have this channel on many levels. A kid came in the other night and he's like, "Oh, that's cute, you old people teaching about AI. Why don't you get off TikTok, you old man?" So there's many things wrong about me. One of them is I'm unqualified to be here. But I can show you this new tool. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba, like Olivia. You know that John Mayer song? That's a good song. Digital pimpin'. Digital pimpin'. I love cookies. All right, we're going to say t-shirt graphic of a smiling turtle with display text. I love turtles. That's it. So the site that I'm on is called Ideogram or Ideogram. I think Ideo. But maybe that's just because I know the company Ideo. Ideogram.ai. So this is like a day or two old company. Well, a day or two old launched product. Oh, wait, let's see. Graphic of a smiling zombie turtle. It's got to be a zombie turtle to make the joke work. And then let's see. Not photo. Oh, wait. So we want typography, painting, illustration, poster, vibrant. All right. See if we can get a zombie turtle here. I like turtles. Wow, I'm a little crunchy. The shoulder's a little crunchy. I love turtles. Oh, it's so good. Anyway, that's it. So this tool does text. How does it do text? I don't know. Oh, look. Metal like Kyle. Someone made a zebra and used my name in vain. Someone put Hillary and Biden in jail. Oh, the internet. Find coffee, drink coffee, find love. That's cute. Olivia, digital pimpin', gods of Mars. This is amazing. I mean, it really is. If you've ever done anything with graphic design, even when you go to like stock sites that have stock design stuff, just the how frustrating it is to find something that's like exactly what you want. And now to be able to just go in and do this stuff, like we knew this was coming, but I assumed this was going to be coming from Midjourney or Stable Diffusion or Adobe. Like Adobe's got their type tool within Firefly and they've got their generative AI, but right now they're separated. So I thought, well, maybe it'll come from them. No, it came from This is a company that, like, their Discord is like, you can tell they just spun it up. It's like, there were like 300 people in it this afternoon. It was like, they're still answering questions. It's brand new. Like, I don't know what the hell they're doing to make this do this. Like, knowing how these things work, it doesn't make sense that they've figured this out, but they have. And this site for me is very emblematic of whatever limitations you think are there, whatever limitations, you go to these things and you're like, oh, all the hands look like pretzels, and they, people don't have 8 fingers, they only have 4, and a thumb's not really a finger. If you're one of those people sitting on the sidelines, this kind of stuff they're just going to keep dropping. Every limitation that you point at, like the hallucinations and it lying, that's going to get cracked. That may take 2 years to crack it, but that's going to get cracked. I was talking to a developer today that I know through the AI salon that the community that I started last December. And he was talking about, he figured out a way that he's doing something for a bank. And he figured out a way that if someone is using his large language model, that they're asking about health insurance or something like that, if they go rogue and they ask the large language model for something out of bounds for what the job is, he figured out a way to have it just not answer them. Like, if the answer isn't in his data, it just won't answer it. These things don't do that right now. So lots of people right now are working on every limitation that is there. So I would strongly encourage you not to sit on the sidelines. Just start getting curious about this stuff. People can see everything you're making. That's actually really cool. Unique creations. Olivia's rocking it out tonight. If you don't like your life, you can change it. I mean, fuck you, Edison. Tesla. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's really good. All right. I love our new AI Learning Lab sign. Isn't that cool? Made with AI. All right. Man, everybody saying pie is like Hal. Pie is like Hal. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that. Currently, I enjoy listening to real people opinions on AI. It makes me feel live the moment. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I think we have to talk about this stuff. We have to talk about it. I mean, a lot of what I do in here for me feels repetitive, but what I have to keep remembering is what someone said earlier, that they can't believe that most people on the planet haven't heard of ChatGPT. They don't know what's coming. And even people like this happens to me regularly, where people that I've talked to for months that are like, yeah, AI, yeah, I'm doing AI, yeah. And then I'll actually show them something I'm working on, and they're like, wait, what? It can do that? I had no idea. Like, that happens to me regularly. People that I think are up to speed on this stuff, they're not. Another thing Paul Reitzer was talking about today, he sort of has been interviewing schools. And he said most of the schools that he's interviewing don't have a position on AI. Or the position is, we're blocking it, it's okay. It's fine. It's fine, we're using AI detectors. No one's allowed to use it. We're good. This shit's coming. It's coming whether you want it or not, right? And so educators, like, they're in a tough spot, but they got to deal with this. It's the beginning of the school year. We're 9 months into this thing. Students have been using it all summer. Probably a lot of teachers have been using it all summer. If schools don't have a POV on the boundaries of how to use AI, how are they serving their community? They're not. Now, do I empathize with them? Is it hard? Is it fucking crazy? Yeah, it's hard, and it's fucking crazy. Look at the Writers Guild strike. Look at the SAG strike. It's coming whether they want it or not. Currently, I just enjoy... Okay, that was that one. Do you think Android smart TVs will eventually have AI built in? Absolutely. Absolutely. All of the stuff... So all of the pre-programmed, what were called AI bots before, Alexa, Siri, all that sort of shit, the AI they used was the voice recognition, but how they responded, for the most part, was just a big, giant fucking logic tree. When someone asks this, respond with this, right? You know, the entire industry has been built around writing the copy for those bots. That's all gone, right? So all of the voice to whatever is going to go to this more. If you haven't played with Pi.ai and the Pi app, go do it. Go start talking to it. The experience talking to a large language model compared to talking to Siri or Alexa is just night and day. You know how with those tools you talk and then at some point you're like, I'm going to ask it something actually interesting. Thank you very much. You don't have that experience with these tools because they know everything. They know the stuff. And even if they don't know it, they'll just weasel around it and ask you questions until you change the subject. Prereq. Swiss Army knife of the internet. Yes, exactly. And yeah, simplification layer of the internet, this AI stuff. Are they still feeding ChatGPT data? Well, yeah. They are. They're training GPT-5 right now. So another thing that I heard today. So New York Times is threatening to sue OpenAI. Google just cut a $100 million deal with the New York Times. Apparently, OpenAI was negotiating a deal with the New York Times, and it went bad enough that the New York Times is now saying, well, fuck it, maybe we'll just sue you. I think all these big companies are going to be cutting deals with media companies, like all of these tools, with the exception of Adobe's Firefly dataset, which was trained on shit that they own or public domain images. But Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, Bard, Meta, the Llama models, OpenAI, Inflection, so Claude, all of them have been trained on copywritten data. So the next 20 years is just going to be fucking one lawsuit after another. So OpenAI hasn't stated publicly where they are are they actively training GPT-5 or not? My strong suspicion is that they paused training GPT-5, the foundation model, the frontier model, while they cut these deals. Because, like, if the New York Times sues them and win, they can't just go in and pull out the New York Times data out of the core model. Because, like, everything's been trained, like, it's all this interconnected, it's all this mathematical, vectorized, weird mathematical space. So they can't just go in and pluck out what was the contribution from the New York Times, and then every fucking publisher will demand the same thing, right? And so they'll literally just have to shut the model down. So it's really... Oh, wow! Happy weekend! Thank you very much. That thing was cool. Thank you, Cubanese. So yes, they're adding new data to them. The way they make these foundation models right now, though, it's very time-consuming, very slow, and very compute-intensive. So they can only do them in these big chunks of time, right? So at some point they have to do a cutoff. Like GPT-4, the cutoff was September 2021. Claude. Oh, wait, not that one. Claude, right there. That cut off sometime early 2023. So that's more modern, but it's still cut off at a certain point, and it's not connected to the internet, right? So that still has that issue. Bing is connected to the internet. So the ones connected to the internet, like Bard and Bing and Pi, they've got their base large language model that ends at a certain date, but then if you ask something that's more modern than that, they just do a search on the internet and incorporate that into the answer. So that's how they're doing it. I would assume that we're pretty close to them being able to figure out ways to update this stuff on a more regular basis where you're constantly augmenting the model, but I don't think they're there yet. I don't know enough about the math to know what that challenge is. I know it's a big challenge because they haven't solved it in 2017 is when they invented the transformer. So, Jesus, it's been 6 years going on 7. Can AI listen to you insult it? Yeah, in fact, Bing, if you get saucy with Bing, it's like, well, we're just going to shut this conversation down. It shuts you down. It's like, don't be an asshole to me. It'll shut you down. I had that happen. I just gave it a snarky response when it like didn't answer something. I gave it a snarky response. I said, well, clearly this conversation isn't working. So please reset. It's like, good Lord. And then I tried to ask it. I'm like, I'm sorry. Can we just go on? No. It was like, nope, we're not. I'm done. So that's why I don't like Bing. Bing is just overcorrected right now for safety. Max Headroom meets Real Head. Snapchat's bot lies to be deceptive. Yeah, these things are going to start doing that. They're going to start lying. Hey, bud, what's happening? User 2250360397241. What's shaking? Your name really rolls off the tongue. Oh, shit. It just jumped me to the bottom again. Welcome, everybody. If you're new here, this is the AI Learning Lab. And look, we can do text in AI-generated images now. This was made today with a prompt. Corporate lobby, reception desk, big glowing sign that says AI Learning Lab, and it made that. If you're new here and you didn't see how I did that, you'll have to stick around. I'll show you in a bit, but I'm going to answer some more questions. All right. Hey, bud, what's shaking? I'm in a war with 350 million geniuses. Wow. It's a big war. I was unsure if I would get retinal scan at Orb, and I believe I will. I'm more comfortable with it, Winston. Yeah, I mean, here's my philosophy on it. What they claim is that they don't retain the biometric data. I actually believe them because they don't need to. Once they generate your ID on the blockchain, that's the only thing they're checking is that, right? You know, if you want to go conspiracy theory, you're like, well, they could take this and sell it to, like, I just don't think they're doing that. I don't think it's in their interest to open up that can of liability worms. If it were Google, I would have a very different feeling about it. But I don't know. I just feel like Sam Altman is in the right neighborhood of intention. But even if they took it, like Google's got so much. Google knows everything about me at this point. So I just don't think that's a concern of mine right now. Because it's so early. Like if you go to the worldcoin.org website, almost all of the information there is for developers, right? It's like, here's our APIs, here's our SDKs, here are the 3 components of the thing. Please go develop apps. You know, what they're trying to do is get developers to build applications that sit on top of it. So I don't feel like there's a downside in getting an ID now, just so that you have it, so that if they end up doing something cool, you'll be kind of like, my philosophy is I'll be at the front of the line when they start doing cool shit. And if they end up not doing cool shit at all, then it doesn't fucking matter. Then I have an NFT that's worthless. I've got hundreds of those. Hey, Share Bear, what's happening? So yeah, but listen, to each their own. Like I said, when I made the video saying I got my iris scanned at the Orb, I got 2 people that were like, well, that earned an unfollow from me, little mister. It's like, all right. Collective knowledge takes over what? I wonder what I'm talking about. I don't know what that means. What's your name? Happy Hardstyle. 8.5 out of 10 on the name. I like it. Interesting. When does John Connor show up? He's already here. Why do you ask? Welcome. Welcome to the AI Learning Lab. Pi has a terrible memory. Do you foresee it improving its memory? All of these things, memory is going to get better. Yeah, right now, like I said, all of these tools right now are janky pieces of duct tape, spit, and dog poo-poo. All of them. The underlying technology is fucking phenomenal. But all of them right now are like, it's an 11-person company, which I find unbelievable. They just haven't gotten around to it yet. Why can't I search for my chats in ChatGPT? Why can I not search through my chat history in ChatGPT? I can do it in the ChatGPT app, but I can't do it on the website. Why is that? I don't know. They haven't gotten around to it yet. They took away access to the internet because it was stealing paywall content. It's been gone for 2 months. Why? I don't, it doesn't fucking matter, right? Like, it's the state of the art right now is that these things are janky pieces of shit. So why am I here? Why am I doing these things every night? Thank you, Ted Looks. Because I think these are the most profoundly powerful pieces of technology that mere mortals have ever been able to get their hands on. Like, it's profoundly powerful technology. It's just that the application layer right now is just horrible because it's just new. And nobody knows what these things even make possible. Like, we're figuring out daily. I'm figuring out daily. Oh, okay, wait, if I think about it like this, then that completely transforms that whole industry. Like, it's just daily I'm having revelations about what these things are. So I think it's critical, for me anyway, to be educated about this stuff. And not just educated, like doing, building, experimenting, screwing it up, getting it wrong, promising a client it can do this, and then realizing after I made that promise, oh shit, it can't actually do that. Like, that's part of the process. Figuring out where the boundaries of these things are. You can't make images with text in them until today. Now you can. They lie and hallucinate until they don't. So, back to your question. And soapbox. These will get memory. I think Apple, my guess, this is total speculation. My guess is that Apple's going to be the first one to come out with an AI agent, for lack of a better term, an AI assistant, an AI little partner, little buddy. I think Apple's going to come out with an AI little buddy that will have memory, and it will understand your data, and it'll understand your preferences, and it'll remember shit, and it'll remember it over time. There's a few months ago, there was a project that came out that was these NPCs, game NPCs, the non-player characters in games, that they've basically hooked them to ChatGPT and to a memory module. So there's 25 characters that live in this Sims-like world, and they walk around and they have jobs. Like, there's an artist and there's the baker and there's the lawn guy or whatever the hell they are. And they walk around and they talk to each other. And it's not programmed, it's ChatGPT. And they have memory. So they remember from day to day. So, like, one of the examples that I read in the paper was one of the NPCs told the other NPC that next week was its birthday. And so the other NPC went and told all the other NPCs that it was that one's birthday and they should organize a party. And then they did. So that project just launched live like last week. Like, the paper came out a few months ago, but that project launched live. Like, what are the implications of that if you have a game that's essentially playing itself without our participation, generating its own reality, having memory, and then you kind of parachute into that game as a player? It's going to be a fucking trip. Like, every time you go into that game, it's going to be something different because the society of that game is different because they've been living their life. So I think it's going to happen in games. I think it's going to happen in our personal data. I think it's going to happen in these generalized bots. I think it's going to happen in specialized bots. So it will get better. Now, the $1 billion question, when? I don't fucking know. Hang on, I gotta send a text. I am on my live. What's up? All right. What's that? Because our dog died. I don't know what the setup to that was. That does not sound happy. Interesting. Happy heart style. I misspelled. I think I'm human. I feel like this is the future. How do I learn? You come here. It's the AI Learning Lab. We learn all about... Thank you, Share Bear. We learn all about AI stuff here. So here's how you learn. Start with this tool. Start there. You don't need to think about anything else. And yes, this is the future, by the way. I don't know what you do. I don't know how old you are. I don't care. If you're a high school student or an 80-year-old retiree, doesn't fucking matter to me. I think it's in everyone's interest to understand what these things are and what's coming. So start with that one. That's ChatGPT. That's chat.openai. That's the official ChatGPT website. And prompts.chat is just a little primer. It's a little Word document that's got some explanations of what large language models are, what ChatGPT is, how they work, and then it's a whole long list of personas that you can tell ChatGPT to act like a life coach or a screenwriter or a mathematician or a short story writer or like anything. And it's just a big long list of those personas that'll give you ideas about how insanely deep these tools are. They look really simple, right? They look like a Google search box. Here, you know what? Since you're brand new and you're like this feels like the future. Let's go show you some of the future. It is the future. This is ever since ChatGPT came out, I feel like I'm living in a post-sci-fi world, meaning I can think back to almost every sci-fi movie I've ever seen, and I can either go, it's here, like it's going to be here within a year or two, or it's going to be here within 5 to 10 years. And there's some notable exceptions like time travel, but everything else feels like it's in bounds at this point. Like the 2001 Talking to Hal, that exists today. Like it's astounding. Okay, so we're gonna go to ChatGPT. And by the way, you know what I haven't done tonight for those of you who are regulars? Huh?
You can make money with ChatGPT.
Yes, you can make money with ChatGPT. Okay, I'm going to go to GPT 3.5. So this is ChatGPT. So down the left-hand side here, that's my chat history. Over here, these are just hints to tell you what to do. So write a thank you note to a guest speaker for my class, explain options trading, plan a trip, help me pick, whatever. So those are just ideas. GPT 3.5 available to free and plus users. So this is a super fast model. So let's just go do what I call parlor tricks. And I'm gonna use my voice to text just so you don't have to watch me typing. Let's see. Write me a country song about the toils of scraping label stickies off of products. So one of the things about GPT 3.5 is it's amazingly fast. So it knows what songs are. It knows it's got verses and choruses. The song title is Sticky Situations, which is good. Sticky labels on a bottle of wine ain't no easy task. It's a real hard grind. Peeling and scraping, my fingers are sore, trying to make it look like it did before. Oh, the toil of stickies, they cling so tight. Gotta fight them off with all my might. From jam jars to boxes, they're everywhere. A battle with glue, it's not just fair. Okay, like, you put this to a 3-chord CGD, country tune. You got a hit on your hands here. Used a hair dryer, tried vinegar too, but all those stubborn labels, they still hold true. Okay, so parlor trick. Tell it to write you a song. Tell it to write you a poem. Let's see. Write me a Shakespearean sonnet about turtles. Oh, and in fact, it's doing something weird because, so what it said, before I write it, could you please provide me with a bit more context? Why it's asking me questions like that, I've turned on a thing. One of the things that ChatGPT has is this thing called custom instructions. So I told ChatGPT that it's a master gardener who specializes in giving gardening advice. So I have to turn that off. And now I'll just do a new chat. Okay, so we'll do. Okay, so let's do something different. I have a company called Storyvine that does automated video storytelling in the healthcare and pharma space, period. We have a B2B product, and I want to find ways to drive traffic to my site via LinkedIn organic posts, period. Can you write me a comprehensive strategy for LinkedIn? Of course, I'd be happy to. This is just stupid fast at this point. Let's go look what it wrote. Define your audience. Yep, that's the first thing to do. Optimize your LinkedIn profile. So use professional photos, compelling headlines, keyword-rich descriptions, highlight your experience, blah, blah, blah. Develop a content strategy, educational and informational content, thought leadership, visual content, user-generated content, networking engagement, right? It goes on and on. Then I could say, can you write me some examples for 3, 5, and 13? So it remembers what 3, 5, and 13 are. So 3 was content pillars. The content pillar, impact of video storytelling on patient engagement, right? So it remembered that I talked about being in the healthcare space. Example post. Did you know that using video storytelling in healthcare can significantly improve patient engagement? Our latest blog post dives deep into how visual narratives can enhance communications between healthcare providers and patients. Check it out here. Link to blog post, healthcare innovation, # patient engagement. Thought leadership, right? So I can do that. I can say, please write me an email for the CMO of a major pharma. All right, there's my email. Beautiful. Tells me I don't know. I know it's good. Some version of good. And this is GPT 3.5. GPT 4 is even better, but this is pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to go. I need this email to look good in an HTML template. Can you make it pretty in HTML? Sure can. There's your CSS. There's your code with the email in it. So I don't know about you. This still blows my fucking mind. This still blows my fucking mind. Like, have you ever written HTML or any kind of scripting or just even an email? Have you ever written an email? You know how when you're in that mode where you're like, you're kind of pissed off at the world, but you have to write an email. You don't want to write an email, and it feels like you have to climb a fucking mountain to write 2 paragraphs. That feeling is gone. Like, if I'm ever stuck like that anymore, I just like say, I'm in a bad mood. I tell it this. I talk to it like I've got a personal assistant, because that's effectively what it is. I'm in a bad mood. I don't feel like writing. Here are the bullet points of what I need in an email. Can you please write it? It writes it, and then I'm like, no, that's too formal. I need it to be conversational. And then it puts a bunch of fucking emojis in it. I'm like, no, I'm not a Gen Zer. I'm old. I'm tired. I'm decrepit. Please write an appropriate email that is not formal, but not... And then it just does. And then it's like 90% of what I need. And then I fix 10 words in it, and I send it. And it's like... So what I would encourage you to do, dig into these things and just do what I just did. Like, not those specific things, but just kind of ask it anything and see what it does. And at some point, ask it to do something that is something that you know really deeply, that like is work you do or is expertise you have. And ask it to, like, try to stump it. There's a great video of Jordan Peterson talking about how he tried to stump this thing, and it melted his face. Like, he's a smart motherfucker, right? He told it to write the 13th rule of life. He's got this book, 13 Rules for Life. He asked ChatGPT if it knew the book, which it did, and then he asked it to write the 13th rule of life and combine two different philosophical approaches while it wrote the 13th rule, and he said it did it perfectly. This is one of the most educated men on the planet, and that incredibly sophisticated request, it did in 15 seconds perfectly as he described it. Now, is it always right? No. Does it lie all the time? Yes. Are there some things that you ask it to do that it fails on, catastrophically? Absolutely. But turn that email into an HTML email that I can pop into SendGrid, and it will render it, and I can see if it's good or not. And then I can just take the email, that HTML, and say, oh, I wanted the bullet points orange, and you made them blue. Okay, here's the orange version. It's staggering. And like, even the irregulars that have been here a lot, that do this a lot. I mean, I don't know about you. Like, it just daily, this shit still fucking melts my face. So yeah, this is the future. This is kind of redefining, not kind of. This is going to redefine nearly every job. I feel like I'm saucy tonight. I'm a little more serious. I go right in there. I'm like, this is big. If you don't pay attention to this, you're a noo-noo head. I don't know what I'm doing tonight, but whatever. That's how it goes. When you do a nightly thing, it's funny. Sometimes I come in here like pissed off and cranky, and I'm funny as fuck. And then like tonight I came in a really good mood, and I'm like, humans are weird. Had to compose a poem for my wife. My wife just don't understand what good that is. Oh, well, if your wife likes poems, it might get you a hug. So it might be good for that. Troy, what do you do for work? Do you ever write an invoice? Do you ever write emails? Do you ever do project plans? Do you ever, I don't know, try to write ad copy? Do you ever try to solve a problem and how to have a hard conversation with an employee? Think about, so these things are called large language models, right? ChatGPT, Claude, Bing. Large language models. It's an interesting phrase. It basically just means they know a lot of words. What else are large language models? We are. These things are reflections of all of the words that we've dumped on the internet for like the past 5 decades. That's what they've been trained on. And that's why there's all these copyright things. Like, you trained it on my data. Oh, nice llama. Thank you, Winston. So this is not like a Google search. This is more like peering into the hive mind and saying, hey, I need an assist. My wife's pissed off at me. Could you write me a poem? Sure. Here you go. Well, like, what do you do? What do you struggle with? What is something in your work that is repetitive, soul-crushing? What's the shitty part of your work, right? It's like maybe it's invoicing clients. Maybe what is it? Like, figure out that thing. And then these things can maybe assist you in that. What if that shitty, repetitive, soul-crushing work could be automated to these things? Chances are pretty good that it can. And if it can't be today, it'll probably be within 6 months to a year. And if you get curious about this shit, you could probably figure it out. With these tools plus something like Zapier that does automations, you could take that repetitive shit like invoicing or writing letters or collection letters for deadbeats that don't pay their fucking bills. And this thing could automatically do it. And you could have it start out with a polite letter and then have the next one be slightly more direct and then have the next one be really direct and have the last one be, I'm going to take you to fucking court, buddy. And it'll do it like that. And you're like, but I write in a really particular way. Copy your email, paste it into the prompt and say, write the nastygram, but follow the tone of this. And it will. Like that. So abstract out wife to poem, or poem to wife, to any other problem in your life. And I need to solve that in some way. And see if you can get these things to do it. And chances are pretty good it'll get close. So, and hopefully your lovely missus loved your poem. The robot poem. And if it gave you a shitty poem, that's on you, not on the machine. If you give these things more context, if you're less stingy in how you talk to these things, they're less stingy in how good they are. It's amazing. If you give this what Google has trained us to give it, just give it a few words, just give it a very little. It will give you back shit, crap, awful. But if you start out and you say, hey, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. You're a career counselor and you're expert in, coaching professionals through sticky situations. I'm in a sticky situation. Here's my company. Here's my role. Here's the sticky situation and how it came about. This is my point of view. This is their point of view. I don't know how to get to the other side on this. Do you have any ideas? It will have ideas. And if you give it that context right, they'll probably be good. And I guarantee there'll be 3 things in there you didn't think of. There'll be like 10 that you're like, well, that's obvious. And then like number 7 will be like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I hadn't really thought of that. Okay, I'll try that. But it was just a fluke. Yeah, it wasn't. What site is this? I think the only site I've shown, I showed ChatGPT, so I showed this site, chat.openai.com, and then I showed ideogram.ai, or ideogram, ideogram.ai, were the only 2 I showed tonight. What good is any of this? I just told you, Troy. Troy. It's so sad. Dig deeper. If you ask it trivial shit, it will give you trivial answers. Give it something tough. Tell it something you've been struggling with personally. See if it's got advice for you. Dr. J, Troy, go play with it and figure out what it can do to help you. Exactly. That's it. Troy was your great-great-granddad with the Wright brothers and Kitty Hawk. So Thelonious with the good burn to Troy here. Not a burn, but like was your great-great-granddad with the Wright brothers and Kitty Hawk and asked, why fly? Yeah, what's the purpose? Okay, they flew for like 10 seconds. What good is that? So what? Yeah, exactly. Nostalgia Fix and Troy, you found a highly irregular part of the TikTok. The TikTok! well, elder fellows and fellowettes. The other thing, Troy, that these tools are really good at.
You can make money with ChatGPT.
Yes, they blocked it at my school. Nature's blessing. Yeah, I just it's fucking. I try to have grace for resistance to change because I know change is fucking scary, and I know educational institutions are particularly allergic to change. But everything is changing, and I think it is really fucking important to give our students some sort of guidance toward what's coming. And the only way you can give guidance towards what's coming is to understand what the fuck is coming. And you can't understand what's coming if you block it. It's fucking here. Your students have been using it all fucking summer. But they're going to cheat. No. They're going to use the world's most capable knowledge delivery system. And yeah, they're kids. They're going to try to outsmart you. And they're going to try to fuck with you. And as a teacher, you should navigate that and understand that and help guide them and say, you know what? Let's bring ChatGPT into the classroom. Let's have it write a paper. And Jane, or wait, what's your name? Nature's Blessing. Nature, will you read that paper out loud for us? Okay. I'm a little embarrassed, but it's okay. Read it. What do we think of that? Well, it was kind of boring. It sounded kind of trite. Yeah, it was kind of shitty, wasn't it? Yeah. Wonder why it was shitty. Why don't we go learn how this thing works? Oh, okay. Oh, it's shitty because we asked it a shitty question. Wonder what would happen if we asked it a better question. Class, what are better questions? Like fucking critical thinking. Because that's what's going to be needed to be able to use these tools. And the tools are going to be fucking everywhere. Yeah, I'm all soapboxy tonight. But there's something about schools blocking access to the most profound tool in the history of humanity sitting in our fucking hands that's making me insane right now. 1977, there's no reason for any individual to have a computer in their home. Digital equipment CEO. Exactly. See, right next to they blocked it at my school is that. That's, yes. It hurts. Yeah. Winston just got the #1 gifter badge. I don't know what are we up to? Likes 28,000 likes. You guys have slacked off. They've all got carpal tunnel from the other night. They hit 100,000 likes, and now they're just like, it's Saturday night. I had lasagna. It's summer. I had lasagna. I think I'm gonna make a Jello mold. Oh, thank you, Winston. Oh yeah. I'm so tired. I can't. Yeah, I like Kyle, but it's just I can't tap the screen tonight. It's just not. Listen, it's not my job. Okay, it's not my job to tap his screen. What's the point? ChatGPT, take me away. WESN Radio, hard rock and hip hop. Here in the lower Poughkeepsie Valley area. Where are you, WESN Radio? You've never told me that. Because I'll say your place and your call sign or your number on the dial if you want. Not that it matters, but I would like to have a fun radio voice and actually have a little script because I'm an idiot. All right, let's see. Ooh, new little box. Oh yeah, Vicky, you haven't seen this. This is the you can make money with ChatGPT button. Oh no, it just jumped me to the bottom. I think I'm gonna skip ahead. What time is it? 10:26. Is it? Wait, Saturday. Okay. I'm like, do I have to get up for work tomorrow? No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Can I have AI do Excel like making some formulas for grading systems? Yes, you can. There's all sorts of ways you can do it. I mean, yeah, I would just go into ChatGPT and just a sophisticated way you could do it is if you pay for ChatGPT Plus, you could use Code Interpreter. You could talk to it about the kind of grading system that you want, and then have it describe the grading system to you, and then describe how it would organize that in a spreadsheet, and then have it generate the spreadsheet, and you could download the spreadsheet. Or you could just, have it talk about the grading system, put it in a table, or put it in a thing, or have it write you Excel, formulas and things like that. You can also, in Google Sheets, there are a number of the one that I know of. There's a Google Sheets plugin or an extension called GPT for Sheets, where you can put OpenAI calls in the cells of a spreadsheet. So you could actually have you could take data from your spreadsheet. I don't know, something a student answered. Go have it analyze that answer, or add up all the shit and take that and run it through some form. There's lots of ways to do it. It's a great teacher too. CodeWeaver. So for those of you interested in education, if you haven't checked out Khan Academy, within Khan Academy, there's a new thing, relatively new, 4 months old, called Khanmigo, that is a GPT-4 teaching bot. That's really good. It uses the Socratic method. If a student goes in there and goes, just give me the fucking answer, it won't. It'll query the student until it is convinced that he understands the concepts before giving them the answer. Really, really interesting. So if you're interested in that, in education, that's something worth exploring. And I mean, quite frankly, like that idea of, bring GPT in the classroom. I mean, teachers need to understand what these things make possible, right? And listen, I would say at this point, this is probably more on administrators than teachers, right? Because teachers might be going, yeah, this stuff's cool, but my district says it's not, and I can't use it. Well, then that sucks, right? So this is a much bigger problem than any individual. But the teachers that I've seen that get their heads around this thing and say, oh, crap, this is a big deal. I got to get my students, I got to train them differently. I've got to educate them in a fundamentally different way, because the world is not going to look like what it looks now. Our jobs right now are remnants from the Industrial Revolution, right? We're cogs in a wheel where, okay, we gotta write the copy for that social media campaign. Okay, Janie, I know you just came out of college. We write things for Instagram, and we write things for Facebook, and here's the formula, and we need you to go research 38 different subjects for this target audience and 40 different subjects for that. We want you to spend the next month researching all that shit and writing 4,222 things in this spreadsheet. Okay. 2 minutes. What does that person do now? If our schools are training people to be that person doing entry-level work, which is repetitive, executional, tactical stuff, and these tools are going to automate the tactical execution, what do we need to be teaching students? It ain't tactical execution. It's critical thinking. How do I use these tools? Why would I use these tools? When would I use these tools? What are these tools good at? What are these tools not good at? Where do human beings need to be involved? Where do they not need to be involved? Those are the students we need coming out of school. I don't need someone who can follow directions. These things follow directions. Faster, better, 24/7. You show up at my doorstep and say, tell me what to do, and I'll repeat it. I can memorize it and repeat it back to you. I have no interest in that. I'm kind of like imagining future state employer, but future state is like 3 years from now. So like all the kids that are in school right now, they're going to graduate into a world where the entry-level jobs are not going to exist. And their skills are going to be for entry-level jobs that aren't there. So, yeah, I don't know. I've never been passionate about education, but all of a sudden I am. It's weird. But maybe because I started a channel called the AI Learning Lab, and I'm acting like a professor, even though I am wholly unqualified. I have no certificates. It's a great teacher too. It is. ChatGPT is helping me through grad school. Super cool. You funny dog. Thank you, Barn Pickle. And Barn Pickle, 9.5 out of 10 on the name. Love the Barn Pickle. I would love to know the story behind your name. It makes me laugh. It's in the neighborhood of I Like Turtles, and I bet there's a good story behind it. So fantastic name, Barn Pickle. I am using it to improve my math too. Oh yeah, exactly. Super cool. Code Weaver, also a good name. David Peroni came in late. Shut up. What was adding text to an image all about? Oh, so David, so this image and that image and that image and that image have not been possible before with things like Midjourney because it couldn't do text. So these all say AI Learning Lab. So there is a new tool called, that's not it. This is it. It's called ideogram, ideogram.ai. Ideogram.ai. Where is it? Up here. Well, you can't see that. That's stupid. That dumb. That dumb. I can't see that. We're on TikTok. I got old eyes. I can't see that little teeny tiny text. I don't know what it is with you young people and your young eyes and see all the little teeny tiny text. Anyway, this site is 2 days old. Their Discord's brand new. There's my I Love Turtles. It can do text. So you can write a prompt. And why is it not? I think I have to reload it. Art is not dead. It's evolving. I actually love that. That is right. That's correct. This is the mistake I think SAG and WGA are making right now. Is they're negotiating their contracts trying to say that AI is bad and we will never use AI. But AI is going to be in everything, so art is evolving, so I think they should be doing their contract negotiations within that reality. Drink coffee, find love, stay powered up on the move. Steve Jobs in front of Google, like Google. There's Google written. So historically, things like Midjourney and Stable Diffusion could not do this. So if we say, let's see. Shiny. Why does shiny not have an E in it? Shiny beer can with with water droplets called bush. By stream Headline text. Say Let's see if this does this. There's nothing like doing like live image generation with, awkward text, awkward typing, and unclear prompting. But we'll see how it does. The other thing that's cool about this site that you can do is you can click on anything. Like if you see something you like this no pain, no gain one's pretty cool. The prompt there is just no pain, no gain typography. And so it did that one, did that one, did that one, and did that one. It's not always perfect. It gets a lot of this stuff wrong, but it gets it close enough that it's quite impressive. Say So it didn't get the Bush beer, but it got the say really good. So let me go in here. I'm going to say photo, cinematic, product. Let's try that. So, and that's that. So this tool is very, very simple right now. I'm sure it'll get more sophisticated over time, but basically you put in a prompt, you can choose some of those modifier click buttons. Yeah. So this is looking pretty good. Although it got rid of all the text now. So, and it's not by a stream anymore. But I can take any one of these images. So like if I get one of these that I like, let's see, we'll say this one. We'll go this one here. I can now remix. There's a remix button, so I can take that image and I can say, let me make that one photographic and generate it, and let's see what that comes up with. Waka waka. It's not photographic at all, but it's a nice evolution of that thing. So anyway, you got to experiment with this stuff. But the fact that these things are now generating typography, that's what you want it to be. It's a complete game changer for the ability to, at a minimum, mock stuff up, but really, you're not that far from usable art with this tool. So crazy, isn't it? Isn't it crazy? It's just crazy. It's just crazy. It's David, I'll tell you, it's this stuff. It just makes my head go silly. It just makes my head go silly. All right. Llama. Sent Lucy the llama. Oh, Winston sent Lucy the llama. Yes. Oh, it was a llama. Did I say llama? I think I did. Genie in a bottle. It is a genie in a bottle. I am using it to improve my math. It's grading my high school writing essays. Very cool. Damn, thought you was Rosie O'Donnell's ex-husband. Oh my God, my favorite trolls on this channel. I've gotten Rosie O'Donnell. I've never gotten Rosie O'Donnell's ex-husband. That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. I am duly flattered and insulted at the same time, which a good troll in the AI Learning Lab does both at the same time. Simultaneously, oh, that's very nice. That was mean, right? Oh. A mofo show. You mofo show. You mofo show. You mofo show. A mofo show. A mofo show. I don't know how to say your name. All you people with your lowercase, non-capitalizing, non-dashed names hurt my brain. But that was a solid troll. Thank you for that. That was lovely. You sound like a landlord. Yes, I am a landlord. Welcome. Have you paid your rent? No, we'll give you 30 days grace. Of course. Of course. What's the dumpster for? I wouldn't worry about that. When do you leave for work? Fantastic. Have a lovely day. All right. Oh my God, even writing grants. Yes, it's great at writing grants. Wow, thank you, AI Learning Lab. You're welcome. Any AI that I don't have to pay for that I can use as a virtual assistant with voice capabilities. Pi. In fact, Pi, if you go look at pi.ai or go get the app. Wait, where's this? Go here. Go there. And go get the app on iOS. I think there's one for Android, but I'm too lazy to check. But on iOS, search for Pi Personal Assistant, and you'll find that app. The company is Inflection, and it's designed to talk, right? So you put it into voice mode. In the lower right-hand corner, there's a little button, and you hit the little telephone, and then you just talk to it. And when you stop talking, it starts understanding what you said, and then it responds to you. And it's connected to the internet. So I think that, at a minimum, Esther Collective, it would be really interesting to just treat Pi as a virtual assistant and see how far you can take it. See how good it is. What I don't think it can do right now is I don't think it can take action on your behalf, but it is connected to the internet. So while it won't be able to book you a flight, it might be able to tell you what flight's available. And then one of the things I've been saying on this channel, any limitation that you see right now is likely going to disappear over the next 6 months to 2 years, like any limitation. So these guys, Inflection, the company behind that, they just raised $1.3 billion. $1.3 billion for what looks like a stupid little toy that you talk to. But when you talk to it, you realize, oh, this isn't a stupid little toy. This has got like all of the knowledge of humanity in it. And it can coach me, and it can guide me, and it can make games, and it can keep me from being bored, and it can entertain me, and it can educate me, and it can probably assist me. That's what they're setting out to build. So that's the one I would start with, because it's the one that's really designed. I mean, that's why they're calling it Pi, your personal assistant, because that's what they're setting out to build, is the world's best virtual assistant. Is it the best virtual assistant right now? Probably not even close. And Apple's going to be big in this game. I think Apple's probably going to be the first one to do this right, is my suspicion. It's my hallucination. I hallucinate too, but I hallucinate for who's doing shit. I'm looking for a vocal conversational AI that I could use for cold calling. It's called... what's it called? There's one out there that's specifically designed for that. Oh, I can't remember it. This is frustrating. I knew that one. Let's see. AI cold calling software with AI assistance. Cognito or Balto? That wasn't it. Novo call. Cold calling AI voice. Oh, this is frustrating. But Kyle, why don't you just put your ideas in a database, and then when you can remember them, you can bring... Because I have ADD. That's just what comes with it. I can remember most shit most times. I can't remember it. There's one out there it's designed to do just that, and I can't remember it. So, I'm a dum-dum. I'm a loser. I'm a loser, baby. Why don't you sue me? Yeah. Dial pad. I know I signed up for it. Yeah, I can't. It's gone. It ain't there. It ain't there. But anyway, there is stuff out there that's coming. I don't know that it's all there yet. Oh, wait. Wait. Hang on. I might be able to find this. I know where to find it. See, here's another thing ADD does. Is sometimes it gives you a little superpower. All right, let's go to x.com. And then I'm going to search for AI Tesla sales call. Ah. Is this it?
It's going pretty good, my man. How about yourself? You said from Tesla, right? The car company?
Yeah, that's right. I'm calling from Tesla Motors, the car company. Did you have any trouble or questions while customizing? It's Alexander from Tesla Motors. How's your day going so far?
This is it. Hello, competitor. See you soon.
It's going pretty good, my man. How about yourself?
Is this the guy that does it? No. Anyway, if you go, I know this is painful. If you go look for AI Tesla sales call, the world is about to change. Why do none of these people link to the actual site? Because they're dum-dums. Oh, wait, is this it? Yes. Is this it? No, that's a newsletter. aiLL. aiLL.ai. This is it. There you go. Got it. Fucking victory! Come on. Give me some hearts for that. Something. I know that was painful. Come on. Give me. Anyone? Everybody left. Everybody left. Nobody's giving me love? River. All right. What did I get? I got a cup. My cup runneth over. Air.ai. Life's tough. It's tougher when you're stupid. Air.ai, it's finally here. 100,000 sales and customer service reps at the tap of a button. Air, click to play demo.
Hey, James.
I'm not interested, man.
Yeah, no worries. I hate calls out of the blue too. But I'm actually from Apple, and I saw you were checking out Vision Pro and were about to pre-order but left the page. I was curious, what had you looking into potential? Okay, I can respect that. Can I just ask one question before you go?
Fine, shoot. What's up?
Why did you decide not to pre-order the Vision Pros? I saw you changed your mind last minute.
Yeah. That's going to change. Like, okay. I was saying this earlier, like any computer-mediated job is going to be transformed in fundamental ways, right? Look at this. Now, I can listen to that, and what I immediately hear is that half a second delay is a problem, right? And you're like, well, there's a half a second delay. They know it's a robot. It sounds robotic. Give it a year. In a year, that will be instant. There won't be a delay there. The guy won't sound robotic. He's going to have inflection. He's going to understand nuance. They'll probably be tracking the emotional state of the person talking as well as what they're saying. So they'll change their tactic based on a combination of logic and emotion. That may be 2 or 3 years out. But that's outbound cold calling. This is here today. Now, I don't know what it costs. I don't know if it's any good. I don't know if you have to train it for fucking 4 months and it costs $100,000 to get off the ground. But this to me feels very indicative of how dangerous it is to sit on the sidelines of this AI shit. Well, I don't need to know AI. I'm a sales guy. I just call people. Okay. How many hours a week do you spend inputting data into Salesforce? Oh, I don't know. 15 or 20. Okay. What if you didn't have to make outbound sales calls and you didn't have to, and you spent an hour a week inputting data into Salesforce and you never missed inputting a number? That'd be cool. Well, what would you do with that extra time? Well, I'd probably go on in-person sales meetings. Okay. It's like not necessarily a bad thing, right? But it might be a very different thing. I'm a salesperson that spends half my time inputting data into Salesforce and half my time on the fucking phone. And maybe once or twice a week I have a lunch where I can build relationships. What if you could just go build relationships? That's the kind of shit that this kind of technology is going to make possible. Every fucking job is going to have some version of this show up in the next year and a half. And the initial products, the initial pieces of software, I guarantee you setting this up is a fucking travesty. I bet it's buggier than shit. I bet most people hang up on it and cuss at it and give it a 2 out of 10 on any fucking survey if they're in a good mood. And then a year from now, if they survive, it's going to change the game. I feel so accomplished that I found that. Thanks, ADD. Occasionally you kick in. It doesn't have to be repetitive soul-crushing stuff either. I'm into math, so I'm on magical. Yeah. I'm just saying the soul-crushing repetitive stuff is the stuff that it's like the low-hanging fruit of this AI stuff. But yeah, like the large language models, the ChatGPT, you can make money with ChatGPT. You can do knowledge work with ChatGPT. You can do math with ChatGPT. You can retrain yourself. You can reinvent yourself.
You can make money with ChatGPT.
Every job. Every computer-mediated job. Every computer-mediated job. But Kyle, I do this. That's not computer-mediated. Really? Do you go to an ATM? Oh, yeah. How do you get paid? Oh, yeah. I just do wallpaper. Okay. How do you schedule your appointments? Oh, yeah. How do you do marketing? Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Everything. Fucking everything. Please upload this video to YouTube because freeze. Which video? Oh, this video. Okay, yeah, I will, Matthew. I will. I'm so far fucking behind on uploading things. I'll do that tomorrow morning. Today I had to go buy paint, and then I had to sand my fucking porch, and then I had to paint my fucking porch, but that's done. But tomorrow I got a fence to paint and another porch to paint, and then I'll also upload some of these lives to my channel. Matthew, I'll upload like 5 most recent ones tomorrow. And by the way, everyone, if you want to go, I don't know why you would, but if you want to go see old lives that are recorded, I am putting them up on YouTube at AI Learning Lab -TT. That's what that URL is up there. So TikTok is the TT there. Too many abbreviations. All right, I'm 99 messages behind. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to jump all the way to the bottom because at this point I'm probably an hour behind on comments. So I'm jumping all the way to the bottom, and then I'm just going to scroll up a bit and just sort of start at a random place. So if you asked a question 45 minutes ago and are still waiting, I probably just skipped it. So just pop it down below and I'll see if I can get to it. Are critical thinking skills actually teachable? Yeah, I think they are. I mean, whether or not you call them critical thinking skills, it's the difference between teaching kind of rote stuff to standardized tests and just the like all the repetitive stuff, all the repetitive, you know, that's the stuff that this stuff's going to do. And it's just so much of our education, you know, industry is designed for a work environment that's required. Like, it's not a bad thing. You got to follow directions. You got to show up. You got to do this. You got to follow the bouncing ball. And listen, this is not. It's not like this is going to happen overnight, right? But if I play out 5 years, if I say I'm a freshman in college today, or I'm a junior in high school, or a senior in high school, those people are 5 or 6 years from entering a workforce that's going to look nothing like our work looks today. What's it going to look like? I don't know. But if everything's being reinvented, if this stuff is going to force change in every job, it's going to require people that can assimilate lots of inputs and deal with change and orchestrate. Like the real skill with these, I think, is going to be like a conductor of a symphony, where you'll understand that there are 5 or 6 major tools you're going to use to do anything. And you need to be able to understand, okay, boss wants me to accomplish X. Okay, how am I going to accomplish X? Okay, I'm going to use tool A to do that. It's no different than what we do today. It's just the output's very different, right? I'm going to use Excel to put the numbers in, and then I'm going to export that. I'm going to make a chart there. I'm going to put that chart into PowerPoint, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to put that into Word, and then I'm going to hand that to my boss, and then the week will be over, and I'm going to drink, right? And the new thing may be some different kind of thing that comes out of it, and it'll be different kinds of tools, but it's like orchestrating lots of different tools, and it'll be much faster turnaround. You can volunteer at any school in America. We would love to see you. Trust me. Nature's blessing. Thank you. I got escorted out of a newspaper publishers conference in 1996 because I was saying this sort of shit to newspaper publishers. That I said, the thing that got me kicked out is I said, in retrospect, I know why they kicked me out, but if they had listened to what I said, they might not be as, in existential crisis as they are. I said that that the internet is collapsing the distance between editorial and advertising, that everything's commingled and it's instantly accessible. So I can literally click, I can be in an article and click over to an ad, and it's all doing this. And there, there's not this massive separation between ad and editorial. And so I sat on the front of the stage and I said, as an industry, just knowing what's coming, you should really explore blurring the line between advertising and editorial. And the guy that organized the event said, and Kyle's got to go now. He literally walked me to the side door and said, thanks. That was it. So I'm happy to come to schools, but, need pointers to enhance my AI awareness. Alivas777, just right now, so start paying attention to it. So start following people on Twitter that talk about AI. So whether it's newsletters or whether it's, smart people, there's a guy named Ethan Mollick who talks about this stuff in a really brilliant way. Just start getting curious with ChatGPT. Just start exploring that. That's the real thing to do right now, is just really understand how these things are different than what we do today. I mean, no regular search has turned up complex P addicts. I don't know what that means, Winston. Maybe you're not talking to me. All right. It's so cool that we're hanging out right now. Thank you. Spell again, please. I don't know what I was spelling. But I'll spell it again if I know what it is. I mean, I am really just a nobody doing this. And if this janky stuff, I can't wait for the good. Oh, if this is the janky stuff, this is the good stuff. Listen, we're all nobodies just trying to get some shit done, Winston. I'm right there with you. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I call these things janky. What's janky about them is just the sophistication of the applications, right? They're new, right? They're new, and they've been thrown together in a lot of cases really, really quickly. Yeah, when these things get sophisticated, and so right now, you've got all of our software we deal with in the world is over here, and then we got all this AI stuff is over here. And they're very separate right now. And that's why we have things like AI detectors. And, you should say if it's done with AI. Well, when these things start to do this, which they're doing, they're just going to be ubiquitous. They're going to be in everything. And then they're also going to be multimodal. So it won't be like I do word stuff and then I some other time go do image stuff. And then if I think about it, I go do music stuff. These things are just going to be like, some sort of input. I need X, and it will just give you X. And then you're like, oh, what would be the music for that? What would that sound like? No, that's not it. That's not it. Oh, that's it. Yeah, it's gonna get stupid. It's gonna get stupid. Like, it's already stupid. To your point, like, if this is the shitty stuff, like, what's the good stuff going to be? I don't fucking know. That thing I just showed, the air.ai. Like, that's the shitty stuff right now. A robot calls a guy that's like, I don't want to talk to you. He's like, can I just ask you one more question? Yeah, shoot. You know where that's going. If that's the example on their website, that guy ended up ordering the fucking Apple eyeglasses, right? You know that. And that dude or the dudette, that AI bot will make those calls 24/7. Never get tired. Learn. I mean, here's the other thing. If they're doing it right, it's not only a large language model, but it's being trained on every conversation. So the conversation happens and there was a no within 10 seconds and the bot kept that guy on the phone for 16 minutes and he bought. All right, let's take that conversation and let's put that in the training set. Like, whatever the bot did, have it do more of that. So it'll get more and more and more efficient at doing what it does. Like, that's the shitty version. What happens when this is good? Fucking crazy. Which website is that? The talking thing was air.ai. Ideogram was the picture one. Dang, I'm an idiot. I just found one reference. Oh well. All right. Can you do that with Midjourney? The letters? No. You can do it with, if you go to clipdrop.co and go to Doodle, the Doodle tool at ClipDrop can do text on images, but not as consistently as this thing can. The ideogram or ideogram. Wow, a lot of people here. 123 people. Good Lord. Saturday night, people. Welcome to the AI Learning Lab. My name's Kyle Shannon. If you've been here for a bit, you can see I'm just a dum-dum. Just an idiot. But you know what? You know what we like to talk about here? You know what we like to do here?
You can make money with ChatGPT.
If you're new to this stuff, if you've not played with ChatGPT, while you can make money with it, that's not what we talk about here. This isn't an MLM scheme, a pyramid scheme, trying to get you to buy our course on how to make money with ChatGPT. Go to ChatGPT and start playing with it. Start interacting with it. If you haven't, it's like, seriously, like right now, like I'm in a fucking cranky mood tonight because I started talking about education and it's making me cranky. Don't sit on the sidelines with this shit. This stuff's really, really important. It's very profound. It's very powerful. It can be a lot of fun. It's really exciting. It can be fucking terrifying. But just go there, chat.openai.com, and then in another window or another tab, open that document, prompts.chat. That will teach you how to use that. And it's just, this will sort of talk about what these things are and how they work. And just start playing with it. And ideally, play with it until you have your Kevin McAllister moment. And hopefully you will. And when you do, then you can't really go back. Because you're like, oh shit, these things are really powerful. Oh good Lord, I didn't know it was that powerful. I'm a little tired. I don't know that I want to reinvent my career right now. Yeah, I know. None of us really want to reinvent our careers right now. However, and breathe. We're going to do some deep breathing exercises here at the AI Learning Lab. I hope you're all doing well tonight. Thank you, Share Bear. Really? Oh, you changed your name, Share Bear. I like it. I'm in. Very cool. Oh, River, Pi is too chatty. It is Chatty GPT. We did warn you, River, that Pi is Chatty GPT. I know. Pi is really fucking annoyingly chatty if you're trying to get something done. So couple of things about the personalities of these things. So ChatGPT is just like good, solid, solid B student. GPT-4 is just really good. It's got parts of it that are just fucking rock solid, but it really sucks at sports or whatever. Claude has got a really big memory, really long. Bing is super corporate but kind of fun, and it's connected to the internet. Bard is really trying to be like ChatGPT. Bard is like the guy that just can't get asked to the prom, but he's actually pretty smart, and he's connected to the internet, and he's gonna be okay. He's probably gonna be the successful one in college, but he's not doing well in high school. Labs.perplexities, geeky research type. The llama models you can play with there are just kind of like really raw chat GPTs. Pi is chatty GPT. It's just like, well, welcome. How are you tonight? It's just fantastic. Let me ask you a quick question. Yeah. Before I answer your question, could we go on ahead and explore why you want to be here today? Yeah, I just want the answer to the question. I totally understand that. I totally understand that you really want to get to that answer. That must be frustrating for you that I haven't gotten to that answer yet. Anyway, before I answer, can you just answer 2 more questions for me? No, I don't want to answer those questions. Could you just fucking give me the answer? Well, wow, no need to get testy. I'm really just trying to understand. So that's Pi. Now, there's some times where you want to be in a conversation, then it's really good. But if you want to get shit done, it's very annoying. And then Poe is just it's like your jack of all trades. Lots of things you can do there. There's bots. Poe's like the sort of party bot, like the party LLM. All right. I've never thought about them as anthropomorphized people in high school, but now I have. So I'm sure I'll come up with all sorts of stupid-ass voices for them, too. Just like I did Chatty GPT. Yeah, no, that's really fantastic. Can I just ask you one more question before I go ahead and answer you? Yeah, I'm sure you really do want to know the weather. Sometimes the weather can be really warm, and it can be really hot sometimes, and then other times it's more cold. And yeah. Oh, you wanted to know the weather, So, question: did you want to know the weather right now, or did you want the weather for later, in a few hours? That one literally happened to me, River, where I just said, "Hey, can you give me the weather in Denver? How long is it going to rain or something like that?" It was raining, and it's like, oh yeah, it's a fantastic question. Did you want to know how long it's raining? Like right now, or a couple hours from now? I'm like, really? Just I don't know. Give me both. It's like, oh, I could give you both. Yeah, that makes good sense. I'll give you both. It's like, whew. So yes, I agree. Upright. Apple user. Your channel is growing, Kyle. Sweet. Thank you. Oh, yeah, a lot of people in here tonight. And call it serious. I want to start a business piggybacking off AI.
You can make money with ChatGPT.
I would say figure out what business you want to make first and then do the AI rather than the other way around. Don't just lead with the AI or you'll just be in a never-ending loop of frustration just because these things, you got to have the strategy first, have the business first, and then figure out how can these things support that? The good news is whatever you want to do, whatever problem you want to solve in the world that you think people will pay for, these tools can likely help you do it faster, better, or cheaper than the competition that's not using it. So that's the good news. The bad news is these are just fucking tools. So you have to figure out the problem you want to solve first, in my humble opinion. Because otherwise you're just using technology gratuitously, and that serves no one. And it wastes time and money and energy. Alexander made by aiLL. Yes, Ted, I found it, but thank you. I'm glad you were here. If I had been watching my comments in real time, I would have seen that. This is so friggin' weird. I know I found nothing on complex PA a month ago, 2 weeks ago. Now I find it. Using what? Using ChatGPT or using something like Bard? Because Bard, Bing, and Pi are connected to the internet, so they might find more recent stuff. Pi's particularly good at knowing very recent stuff. Surprisingly good. Conspiracy theory. Kyle's not real, but actually a deepfake from ChatGPT recruiting feeder. I wish DARPA deepfake. You want to know something scary? We were talking to DARPA in the early days of Storyvine. And they said they wanted us to write a white paper about how we could use Storyvine for soldiers in the battlefield. And so I thought, well, you could do time-shifted psych evals, right? So you could have a soldier like record themselves when they had downtime in the field, and then those videos could be viewed by psychologists stateside. And at some point, so we got on the phone with the guy. We were walking him through the white paper. He's like, okay, And at one point, I said, so at some point, like the soldier might say, "Hey, I'm doing great, doc," but the doc, in watching that video, could know that they're not doing great. And he said, "Oh no, we can detect all that in real time." He goes, when the video comes in, we'll know exactly what the state of the soldier is. We can look at their irises, we can listen to their voice. He goes, no, that's all handled. So when you're talking to DARPA, they got some shit there that, we ain't know about. It's like, oh shit. AI makes a 4-hour work week doable. It does. I think that's one of the very real possibilities is we start to get time back in our life. Like the amount of shit that we do that frustrates the shit out of us and makes us assholes starts to go down. The amount of work goes up, but our time required to do that amount of work goes down. So like the pain in the ass factor of life goes down, as does sort of the requirement to put in lots of hours to output what you need to output. And that gap, what do we fill that with? I don't know. Like, I think we can fill that gap with spending more time with our family. I don't know. Socializing, starting a new project, living a dream. Like, I feel like we're all going to have the opportunity to kind of have some new space in the week that we can actually express ourselves in some meaningful way. That's what I'm hoping. Like, that's the thing I'm actually like, sort of deep down, what I'm hoping all of this shit can do is give us back some meaningful time that we can actually do something. Johnny Blaze, welcome. I found a link that says it was discovered in 2013, but so far no peer-reviewed paper or original source. So Winston, be really careful. any of these things, including the ones connected to the internet, will often give you sources with links, and it's just all bullshit. So take everything with a grain of salt that these things give you. If you're trying to do anything that is whatever you call it, where accuracy is important, take everything these things generate with a grain of salt. You still have to check it. Absolutely. They hallucinate a lot, especially when it comes to things like citations. Not German, Gerfem. Love the name. Hey, how's it going? Welcome. Sorry, I'm trying to find my place. In the questions. You know, sometimes I got a little behind, and then TikTok jumped me around, and I'm hearing that. You know what I mean? Everybody know what I mean? No. This collar is like, this shirt needs to be in the retirement center. It's like the shirt's like, I'm kind of done now. Could I be done hanging on your shoulders? Your YouTube videos need more creative titles. Yeah, I know. So Elephantus. If you look at all of my videos, click on the video button and then scroll to the bottom. The bottom ones have really good descriptions and chapter markers in them because I had Claude write all those, and they're really good. And then Claude stopped working for some reason, and now I can't get it to do accurate chapter descriptions anymore. So I've spent 3 or 4 total hours just trying to get the prompts to work. And then Claude rate limits me before I can finish and says I can't work anymore for 24 hours. So I've been cock-blocked by Claude. So, yes, the descriptions are non-existent for most of the videos, but some of them have lots of description in them. So some are good, but yes, I do need to do that. Thank you for the reminder that I'm 16 hours behind on my work. Yes, the voices. They will adapt just like we did. Yep, exactly. I'm your 60th YouTube subscriber. Woo! Fantastic, Nostalgic Flicks. Thank you. Nostalgic Flicks 59. Farah, welcome. What is Ask AI? So someone asked, they want to use AI to do voice cold calling for sales. And I'm like, I've seen that. And I couldn't remember what it was. So Ask.ai is, they claim that they can have 100,000 simultaneous salespeople or customer service people just talking. So imagine, instead of having a customer service call center where people call in, they get put on hold for 45 minutes, then they reach a human being that's at level 1 support, which basically means they can only read a script, they've only worked for the company for 2 weeks, and they don't care about anyone or anything. That's level 1 support. And then they put you on hold for another 15 minutes and you get the level 2 support, and then you get the level 4 support and you're just about to get your question answered and they drop the call. That experience? What if instead of that you called and basically a robot answered, and it was like ChatGPT, it was Chatty GPT, and it knew all the shit about the company. And you could ask it questions and it would say, here's your answer. Does that answer it? Nope. And then you explain more about your situation, and it would know enough to know when it needs to escalate it to a human. So you could have a 15-minute conversation with this back and forth with this bot. It knows everything. It's taking care of updating your address on your account. It's taking care of this. It's taking care of that. And then it actually gets to your problem, and it's like, oh, yeah, you need to talk to someone. Let me put you in touch with them. And then not only does it put you in touch with them, it synopsizes, it summarizes the conversation you just had with it and everything else about your account that's relevant to this conversation, and puts that on the screen in front of the human being. So the human being picks up the phone, and instead of saying, could you please repeat everything you've said 4 times? The human being just goes, hey, so it looks like you were talking to the bot, and the bot, cleared up these things, but you're kind of stuck on this one issue. Is that correct? Yeah, that's perfect. I can fix that for you. Imagine that experience. So that's what Ask AI is purporting to be. And then so they're saying customer support on one side and then outbound sales on the other side. So literally a bot that will make calls 24/7 to whatever your fucking target list is and have conversations with people until it books a meeting. It's different when you see and talk to children. You would motivate them. Oh, thank you, Nature's Blessing. Yeah, no, I obviously like doing this stuff. I'm happy to do that. So, yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. I think I would, if I were in the presence of people that were, I don't know. Yeah. I'm happy to chat. All right. I used to sell survey software and talks with LA Times Research. One guy left in the department. It's over. Oh, interesting. Yep. Certain industry. What's going to be really sad is it's not like there's going to be a big trumpet sound like this job is over or this industry's over. It's just going to be the phone stops ringing. Like, yeah, if you do research, if you do kind of lower level research, even some higher level research, if the CEOs of the companies you sell to can just go to these things and get the answers, they don't need your research. And so they're not going to announce, I'm using AI to replace you. It's just going to be like the renewal's going to come up and they're going to be like, oh, yeah, that. I haven't used them in like a year. No, I'm good. We don't need to renew that. And then just you call them up and say, hey, we've worked together for 20 years. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't. I just don't really. I use this now. I'm good. But this is our business. Yeah, I get it, but sorry. It's like there's gonna be a lot of there was that little meme we went through of like everyone was quiet quitting where they're just like working at home and like fuck it, I hate my job anyway, so fuck the man, right? I feel like there's gonna be sort of quiet atrophy of business where it's just gonna slowly drift away, drift into the background. People are going to be like, what? Why is the phone not ringing? Is anybody there? There's no one here. It's fucking terrifying. I recommend everyone go there and subscribe. It's a good way to catch up on missed shows. I don't know what that's in reference to, but that's cool. I liked it. I like when you guys talk to each other. I think that's super cool. What's your opinion on Marketing Blocks 2.0? I don't know it. Let's go look at it. Marketing Blocks 2.0. Free AI software creates all your marketing assets in minutes. Copy pages, graphics, videos, voiceovers, emails, logos. There's going to be 8 billion of these things. I'm even looking at building one of these into Storyvine, into my current thing. But the hook, the thing that I'm trying to make different is I can't learn about this without logging in. That's a real pain in the ass. I'm looking to do story-centric content creation. Unlimited words, 50,000 words a month. For how much? $37 a month. Build $400 a year. I wouldn't sign up for anything for a year right now. Certainly not something like this. I think these guys are making create with AI. Create AI video creator. I can't play with this without subscribing. That's a real fucking dumb move. Yeah, this so I don't know, like activate your 5-day risk-free account, no contracts. Yeah, well, I have ADD, so signing up for a 5-day risk-free account means that I'm paying for this for the next 3 months, whether I like it or not, and I guarantee I'm going to not like it. I hate that fucking marketing tactic right there. That drives me fucking crazy. The fact that I can't use it, like, that knocks 5 points out of the 10-point scale right there. Because I don't know how good it is, and I don't give a shit if it's, like, I couldn't even get into the site without giving them my fucking email, so now I just signed up for fucking 43 fucking emails. Kyle, you haven't responded in 3 things. I mean, I know I'm not going to take it personally, but, I'm assuming that you don't want to talk, so tell me otherwise. So I'm going to get all those emails now. I don't like strong arm marketing. I hate it. It drives me fucking crazy. So I would say, like, so I see a site like that and I think, like, well, I already know Jasper exists. I already know Copy AI exists. Both of those I can go play with and understand what they are without having to fucking, give my life away and put in a credit card. And they're more established. It might be really good, but I don't know. But, like, I have no way of finding out, and and I'm not going to. So, how do we make money off all this? I don't see it yet.
You can make money with ChatGPT.
That is not the right approach, in my opinion. It's not about how do you make money with AI. Maybe why you can't see it is because you're thinking about how do I make money with AI, and you're looking at these imperfect tools, and you're like, but they're kind of imperfect, and they're kind of not right. And here's my philosophy on this. These are just tools. So it would be just as easy, Merlin, for your question to say, how do you make money off Photoshop? Or how do you make money off Microsoft Word? So wait, Microsoft Word, you can type words into this thing, like back when it came out, when there were typewriters, right? You had to, like, type onto paper, and if you made a mistake, you had to use whiteout, or if you had a fancy typewriter, it would have a white ribbon, and you could white out the things in line, right? And this tech software comes out where you can just write into this TV screen, and then change stuff and move stuff, and then at some point when you're done, then you can print it. Well, how would you make money with that? How would you make money with a thing where you don't actually see the words on the paper in front of you? That's kind of what you're asking right now. It's like it's in the same neighborhood. So the question isn't how do you make money with Microsoft Word or how do you make money with AI? The question is how do you make money? And how you make money is you figure out a problem that someone has that you know how to solve, and you solve that problem for them in a good enough way that they pay you money. Oh my God, I hate it when I can't write stuff. If only someone could write words on paper. I can do that. Well, I've got Jim that does that on the typewriter. Well, I can do it faster than Jim because I have this new fancy thing called a word processor, and I'm also really good at this, and so I'll do it better and faster and cheaper than Jim does it. You want one? Oh, yeah, well, let's start with a small project. Oh, you're really good. Yeah, here's money. So, what I would say to you is, like, what are you good at? What's the stuff where you can solve a problem? And then what I would say is start to get literate about these tools. Start to understand them, what they're good at, what they're not good at. Thank you, Michael. Start to understand what they're good and not good at. And then what you can probably do is you can say, hey, I could probably, like, I'm seeing this with some agency friends. I could probably start an agency where I could deliver at or above the quality of work that client is getting now for half the money and half the time. That's a really compelling thing. You go to any agency and you can say, I know you're spending $250,000 a year with that agency. Pay me $100,000. I'll turn things around in 2 weeks instead of a month, and I'll guarantee it's the same or better quality. Okay. I worked with you on that campaign back then. That's cool. All right. Yeah, let's go. Client just saved $150,000. If you're good enough at these tools, you could probably deliver at a quarter of the price and a quarter of the speed, but you've only promised them half, so you can now confidently hit half the money, half the time, same quality. But that doesn't have anything to do with these. That has to do with you're solving that specific problem with these. So I would flip the formula. Flip the classroom. You make it fun, Kyle. Lol, thank you. Dar. Thank you, Dar from Face Up Studio. I try to make it fun. What time is it? It's late, isn't it? What are we doing Saturday night? What'd you do Saturday night? I hung out with some old guy on TikTok. It's very odd. All right, I'm gonna do a few more questions. I'm now 55 questions behind. I've been doing this way too long tonight. I played with each of these. They are all very biased towards specific ideology. Well, Merlin, so are humans. So if you ask these things, if you ask these things to be biased, they'll be biased. So listen, if you're just looking, Merlin, for ways not to use these, there's all sorts of reasons not to use them. Yes, they're biased. Yes, they hallucinate. No, they're not perfect. They're janky pieces of shit. And they're as bad as they're ever going to be. So if you just sit on the sidelines and judge them and say they're not perfect, this shit's going to kick your ass. Great info, taking notes, thank you. Advertising is bias. Everything's bias. Here's the thing. The myth of the bias-free large language model, here's my thought on this. So what Merlin's saying is, okay, not only was this trained on biased information on the internet, which is kind of horseshit because there's biased information on the internet, but there's bias in both directions. So it's trained on both, right? But then also the human reinforcement training that was done at OpenAI was done by people in San Francisco, which is biased, right? There's bias in a certain way there, right? So it's really easy to go, okay, they all fall in this direction. If the exact same models were trained in, I don't know, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, for example, they might be biased in the other direction, right? So someone might look at the current model and go, that feels just right. Merlin looks at it and goes, that's really fucked up. There's going to be some other model that Merlin's going to look at and goes, oh, that's not biased. That's perfect. So we're all biased. We all have some point of view, right? There isn't going to be the perfectly neutral model. It's just not possible. We're fucking humans. We choose sides. We choose teams. Our politics right now are we're like football fans. You're in Denver? Denver sucks. You're in Philadelphia? You're an asshole. Nothing we can say to each other will ever convince us that our football team isn't the best and the other guys are assholes, right? That's what our politics has turned into. So what's going to happen in the future is these things will likely get more transparent with the rules that they live by, with the imperatives that they filter through. And then Merlin can choose his model and I can choose mine and Thelonious can choose his. There will likely be different models and they might be very, very personalized. But yeah, they're biased right now. It's just, this is very new technology. So it's biased. It's been trained on, mostly white guys. Because mostly white guys were putting shit on the internet. And it's still mostly white guys in technology and engineering positions. Is it getting better? Yeah, it's getting better. But these things have been trained on the past 50 years of data on the public internet. So it's very US-centric. It's very white guy-centric. And it's probably more to the left than the right. is everyone aware of that? Yeah, everyone's fucking talking about it every day, all the time. Is it an easy fix? No. You know? How do you add more shit? How do you add more data that doesn't exist? Do you invent it? Do you synthesize it just so that it's more balanced, but then it's fake, and fake on whose thing and whose point of view should be in there anyway? It's a really complicated, really deeply complicated issue. There's ways that we can fine tune it that doesn't change the core model, but it makes it behave better. That's something that they're working on right now. So, you know, speaking of weather, it's in the 50s here in Michigan. Wow. It was actually nice today. It was like in the 80s here in Denver. It's probably, I don't know, 60 something right now. What do you recommend for SEO? Ugh, I don't know. I think SEO changes radically over the next 3 years, so I don't know. I would go to futurepedia.io. So this little site that I put up here. Futurepedia.io is a list of like 4,000 AI tools. There's probably a bunch of SEO stuff in there. I know there's some SEO things as plugins in ChatGPT. I don't know that world very well. Short term, you can certainly get, I mean, you can have, ChatGPT can write you, really good SEO optimized content. But if you're talking about doing, super sophisticated automated stuff, I don't know those tools, but I know they exist. We're entering a very weird space where are we in the middle of a transition? We're at the beginning of a transition where what a search engine is changes radically. Like they're changing radically. I think all the rules for SEO are going to change. I don't know. It's an area of grand ignorance for me, and I don't like that. The only thing I know is it's going to be different. I just don't know how it's going to be different. I don't know where I would put my energy if I were trying to do SEO right now, because it just feels like at some point that shit's just going to shut off in a weird way. What's the weather like right now? Oh, that's funny. The irregulars. Why not make soldier crickets having a war against the largemouth bass? Wait, what? It's not just Jim anymore. Oh, Jimmy Moore. It's not. Oh, I'm just Jimmy Moore. That's a fun name. I'm just Jimmy Moore. Why not make soldier crickets having a war against the largemouth bass in ponds? Yeah, exactly. We're not fighting this shit. The gap. All right, it just jumped me to the bottom. It's a sign. I gotta go. I'm gonna scroll up. I'll do a handful of more questions. What's up? Good early morning from the Netherlands. Oh, Sandra, I didn't know you were in the Netherlands. That's cool. Are you understanding these tools? Wait, are you understanding what these tools are good and what they're not good at, Kyle? Molly. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm spending. That's probably, like, that question is kind of exactly what I try to do every day with this shit, is figure out where the boundaries are, right? What are they good at? What are they not good at? Like, with ChatGPT, for ideation and just general writing, GPT-4 is fucking amazing. Plugins seemed really promising, but they're so janky and fucked up, and there's not real clear developer activity in them. Some of them felt spammy, like they just felt like they were useless. Code Interpreter is fucking remarkable, but when I actually am trying to use it for work, I'm getting really intermittent results where sometimes it's fucking brilliant, and then sometimes I just can't get it to do what I want. And then other times it starts brilliant, and when I try to just tweak something, it completely falls apart. So I don't really know how to use that one. Claude is really good at long documents and long conversations, but it rate limits you to like 25 queries. So just about the time you're getting some work done, it's like you got 3 more chats left. You got 2 more chats left. one more. Okay, see you in 24 hours. You're like, fuck. Bing is just this side of useless. It's connected to the internet. It can do some good stuff, but it's so like safety control. So like that's kind of what I'm doing is the reason I put up these 7, these 3, ChatGPT, Claude, and Bing, and then Bard, Perplexity, Pi, and Poe. These are the ones right now for me that I'm just looking at, which one's getting better, which one's getting worse. If a new player comes into the scene, like, do they make the list? Does someone else drop off? And the reason there's so many on there is like every one of these, I can tell you why it's on the list because it does something slightly better than the other thing. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm spending most of my time doing. And it's certainly in a science. A lot of this is instinct right now. And it's the other thing that I would say, Molly, is don't get too married to anything. Like Bard was not on the list until like a month ago. Like it was laughably bad. It was just like, these are the guys that fucking invented the transformer that's powering all of this other remarkable shit. Are you fucking kidding? And then just in July sometime, it got good. I don't know what they did. I don't know if they flipped the switch. I don't know. It just got not horrible. And so it made the list. And apparently Gemini that they're working on right now, that Larry Page came back to Google and is heading up the Gemini project, from what I understand. I have a feeling that when Gemini comes out, they said it's going to come out in the fall, that it could sort of move to the top of the list and really be a challenge to ChatGPT. So I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to use these things to do my work. I'm trying, like, why I'm on these things is just to, like, the this tool that the ideogram, I learned that from someone in the live last night. They're like, what do you think of ideogram? I'm like, I don't fucking know what you're talking about. And I went there and I was like, oh shit. Someone came out with a model that does text? Like, I learned that here. So I'm just in sponge mode, and I guess I'm in aggressive sponge mode. I'm in Swiffer mode. I'm like aggressively going after this shit right now because I'm just trying to figure. The other thing is, this stuff is so profound and it's so broad. It's like, because it's going to affect everything. Like, no one can understand what this thing's going to do in every corner, much less even in a single corner. It's so expansive. So I'm just trying to understand it. Is where I am right now. And I don't think, and if I were to give myself how much do I understand this shit, 0.00003% maybe. It's like, so if you're like, well, I'm at 0.00001%. Okay, great. So we're in the same neighborhood. Because it's not understandable. It's too big. It's too profound. It's too vast, and it's moving. It's evolving. Literally, while we're speaking, shit is probably being released that will change the conversation again. So, yeah. So, I don't have a list. I'm not writing any of this shit down because it's just all going to be irrelevant in a month. Did you already know that or find it? I don't know what you're talking about. AI can write command algorithms for free. Indeed. 46,000 likes. 47 right now. Fantastic. Sorry, I have to go. All right, Sander, going to the east of the Netherlands. Nice. I don't know what that means. Kyle, what do you think of AGI? I think Cam Catkin. I love your name, Cam. How's it going? Cam Catkin. Nice to meet you, Cam Catkin. How's it going? Should be a salesperson, I think. What do I think about AGI? I didn't know the term until a year ago when I watched a YouTube video of Sam Altman talk about it, and that's what OpenAI is all about. And then I started using these tools, and my experience of these tools was, oh shit, the Turing test is over. Like, this passes the Turing test. If you don't know what the Turing test is, it's when a human talks to a computer and can't tell whether it's a computer or not. And I started using ChatGPT, and I'm like, like every chatbot I'd used for the decade leading up to ChatGPT was a disappointing travesty of this will... At this rate, computers will never pass the Turing test. And then ChatGPT came out, and I really started playing with it, and I'm like, oh shit, I guess that's over. And then I saw some interviews with people, and they're like, well, but it hasn't really passed the Turing test because my definition of the Turing test is you've got to be able to interact with the computer for 4 hours straight. And if you can do that and still not be... And so then what hit me was, they're starting to qualify the Turing test. And what landed for me is like, well, it's kind of irrelevant. Like, if we're at the point with these models that we're now arguing over semantics of whether or not the computers are strong enough to not know if it's a human or not, then we're pretty fucking close. And then, so AGI is the next step above the Turing test, right? Where computers are now AGI, artificial general intelligence. They're smarter than humans. They can reason better. They're smarter. Take the smartest human and the computer is smarter than that. These things are already way the fuck smarter than I am, right? So for me, okay, my capability is here. My intelligence is here. This thing's capability is here, and its intelligence is way up here. Its wisdom and reasoning is way down here, right? So I think where these things fall apart is the like the critical thinking I always talk about. They're really shitty at that. They're like an imbecile that knows fucking everything, right? But in terms of capabilities, like creating artwork like that, writing quickly, writing well, writing consistently, writing like it's already above my capability, and it already knows like way more than I will ever know, and I ever have any interest in knowing. It's like off the screen better at knowing shit. It's way down here in terms of reasoning. The AGI stuff, in my opinion, is just the reasoning part coming up to here, right? And that it's coming pretty quick. But for me, it feels like a semantic argument. Like, I don't really give all that much of a fuck if it can reason. There's reasons. So when the thing can reason as good as humans, that's when you can literally say, this human isn't necessary because this thing can now reason at a human level. And if it gets to the point where it gets above it, then you can say, okay, that knocks out a whole group of humans, right? Because this is reasoning at a much higher level. So, but I kind of feel like it's all just a matter of degrees at this point. These tools are already way smarter than we are. They just don't reason as well as we do. So, I don't know. So, yeah, I don't know. The glimpses of holy fucking shit are just start using, again, if you're in this channel tonight and you haven't played with ChatGPT, go there right now. Just go there right now, chat.openai.com, and I don't care how cynical you are. We had at least one in here tonight. I don't get it. It's biased, whatever. I will not use it until it's what I want it to be. Okay. Even if you're that person, go there and start using it. And if you don't know how to use it, go to prompts.chat. That's what these two things are there for. Because you'll see, this is not Google. This is not a Google search. This is something very, very different. And this is very much the tip of the iceberg of what's coming. So, I mean, according to the weatherman, he says it would be more sunny there. Two more questions. Is the rapid acceleration of OpenAI scary? Yes, Daniel. Yes, Daniel Bayanez. I like your name. It's terrifying it's terrifying how quickly it's coming, and it's not just the acceleration of OpenAI. Like this image This was not possible 2 days ago. I found out about this tool last night on this live. I went there today and I was like, I had a Kevin McAllister moment. It does text now. Another threshold cross. Check. That's checked off the list. Is it perfect? No. But can I make something that says AI Learning Lab that looks like I spent more than 3 minutes on it? Yep, I can. I can do that now. You want a silo with AI Learning Lab on it? Yeah, we can do that. You want it to be a Route 66 looking thing? We can do that. Gritty New York? Yeah, we can do that. So, is it scary? It's exciting. What's scary to me is the impact on people. Like, people are going to be fucked up because of this. Like, longer term, 5 years, there's going to be a lot more jobs created because of this stuff. So I feel like long term we're in better shape than we are right now. Short term is going to be it's going to be ugly, and that doesn't make me happy at all. You need to build your 1 billion parameter LLM model. I do. Well, I'll let someone else build it. I'll just use it. Fascinating. Thelonious, have you heard of AlphaFold in 2022? It determined every possible protein fold for human DNA. 2022, exactly. Yeah. The founder of that, the founder of DeepMind that created AlphaFold. So Google's AI group is now called DeepMind because they basically just took it over and said, okay, this is our AI group now. So the guy that founded DeepMind, he's the one that started Pi.ai that just raised $1.3 billion. So that's why I'm looking at Pi, even though it looks like a stupid little tool right now. This thing, I have a feeling that little toy is going to get really, 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 really powerful. I don't know how yet, but the guy that invented the shit that figured out how to predict all the 400,000 proteins, he's making a chat bot. Chatty GPT is the DeepMind dude. So yeah, it's wild, isn't it? I just found it in a text. Okay, I'm so excited about all these possibilities. I know, me too. It's just fucking nuts. All right, listen. Pi has so many possibilities. I am crispy. Look, bloodshot eyes, the hair's falling apart, the t-shirt gave up fucking 2 years ago. I haven't drank enough water, but I still believe this.
You can make money with ChatGPT!
Good night, everybody. Cam, thank you. Let's see who we got here. Donna. I see Donna. I see Cam. Steve-O. See you, dude. I see Tobias. I see Thelonious. Cavruno. Daniel. Any Gen Xers? What was that show that did this? I see Danta and Danta and Danta. JRC. Share Bear. Thanks, Joker. Yeah, I'm Gen X. Boomer here. What was the show? Anyway, like I always like they're gonna call my name. They're gonna call my name. They never fucking called Kyle. Romper Room. Right? Romper Room. Exactly. I was like 5 or 6. They're gonna call my name. They're gonna call my name. Never fucking called my name. I'm still bitter about it. All right, everybody. Good night. Thanks a lot. I'll see you tomorrow.